Debt in too deep? Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union says, stop treading water and get out of the deep end. If you've got debt, make a splash and come get some cash. If Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union can refinance your car, boat, camper, motorcycle, credit cards, personal or home loan, they'll pay you up to $500. So come take the plunge right now. Refinance your loans. Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union will pay you. 5 convenient locations. Visit atfcu.com. Equal housing lender.
When I made the move to my own studio, I was worried about this. I was worried about that. I was worried about, hey, did I get this piece of equipment? Did I get that piece of equipment? Does that sound good? Does that not sound good? One thing I didn't have to worry about, that was office furniture, because Office Furniture Outfitters met my furniture needs. With a 50,000 square foot facility, they have East Tennessee's largest selection and are the best value for new and used office furniture. Located in Knoxville, it's easy to find everything you need for your new space, including desks, file cabinets, chairs, conference tables, and more. Office Furniture Outfitters is turnkey. They came to my place, we mapped everything out that was needed, they delivered, and get this, set everything up. To learn more about what Office Furniture Outfitters can do for you, log on to ofonox.com. That's ofonox.com.
Deep down the middle's got his man, and he's gone. Jason Swain, touchdown.
It's time for the Swain event.
Guess what time it is? My time. You can check your iPhone. Better say it's our time.
With your host, Jason Swain.
My man.
Real sports talk for the real sports fan.
All you chumps are gonna bow when I whoop him.
It's time for the Swain event, fueled by Dead End Barbecue.
Give me 2 pounds and a Ric Flair.
SwainEvent.com, fueled by Dead End Barbecue, top 100 barbecue restaurant in America. Hope you're having a great morning. 4 minutes past the top of the hour on Thursday, which is the best day of the week. Duh. Ben McKee, Jason Swain here with you. The Be Dry Waterproofing Hotline is 865-200-5503. Ben, what's up, man?
Good morning, Jason Swain.
I am great. How are you?
Well, that's good. I didn't ask, but I do hope you're doing well.
I don't care. I'm telling you.
I'm doing great. Ready to have a drama-free show. It's going to be a great day. It's Thursday, the best day of the week.
We don't have drama here. What are you talking about?
Well, I was talking about the Rockets and the Warriors. There's just so much drama going on in that series. Yesterday, you had KD getting hurt in the fourth quarter.
Correct. If he's not able to play in Game 6, then it changes a lot of things. Man, he's right now the best basketball player on the planet. So we'll see what happens there. But Klay Thompson was back in his bag yesterday. His shot was falling. Had a lot of pep in his step. Defense was on point. Rockets was a little bit off, and they were a little bit off. The Warriors got it done. So.
You think KD is better than Kawhi?
I think KD is the best basketball player on the planet right now.
Would you, this may sound like a dumb question. I truly do not intend for it to be a dumb question. Would you rather be the best basketball player in the world or the best two-way basketball player in the world? Because I would almost rather be the best two-way basketball player like Kawhi Leonard, because that means you're good at everything in the game of basketball. Let me be good at everything rather than one aspect. Does that make sense?
No, it does. If I was picking a team together, putting a team together, I would take Kevin Durant over Kawhi Leonard right now. So I hope that answers your question. I would rather have the best basketball player.
Fair enough.
I mean, you want Jordan or you want Pippen?
Jordan.
Okay, because during that time, Pippen was the best two-way basketball player.
Mm-hmm.
Pippen was a guy that defensively was amazing. He can guard all 5 positions. Long, 6'8", 6'9". Was a point forward for the Bulls. Yeah, he was a good defender. Hakeem Olajuwon was a really, really good defensive player too. But everyone's taking Jordan. I'm taking the best basketball player. And right now, it's Kevin Durant. Right now. Now, it wasn't like that a year and a half ago, it was LeBron James. But right now, LeBron James. But right now, it's Kevin Durant. Sorry, man. It's Kevin Durant. I love Kawhi Leonard. But
I don't disagree.
yeah, Kevin is filthy, man. No one can guard him. No one can check him. He's unstoppable. He really is.
The only person that can stop Kevin Durant is himself.
Correct.
When he injures himself.
Ball over the last 3-4 years, the big time change in college football. I mean, on offense. I remember sitting here on the air years ago, and the teams that seemed to have the best chance were the teams that only had a dual threat quarterback, and the offenses that went up tempo, fast pace. There was a time when like Oregon and Auburn and those teams were basically running teams off the field. Their style of play was so unstoppable that even the best college football coach ever complained about it and made up silly excuses because he couldn't stop it when he played against Ole Miss.
Cited it was bad for the kids because of injuries.
Yes. If they're not getting rest, I mean, it's just a health concern, right? You always try to use the kids' well-being as a crutch. NCAA. Well, I mean, I don't know about the playoff because the kids in school. Please, if basketball players, and they've been doing it for decades and decades, if they can deal with school, then football players can, because they travel during the week all the time, right in the spring semester, and they seem to be okay. Everyone uses the kids as a scapegoat. But I remember years ago where, like, the teams that had the dual threat quarterback, the teams that was up tempo and fast paced, those were the teams that had the best chance of winning. And NFL's a copycat league. Remember the Wildcat that made its way to college football there in the mid-2000s, and then NFL started to do some of it, and the team that did it the best, they were the Miami Dolphins. It was Ricky Williams. It was Ronnie Brown. They were unstoppable.
It was unstoppable on Madden, too.
Yeah, unstoppable. They were the NFL team that did it. And they took a little bit from the college game. But everyone did it in the college game. And we still see some of it now. Like, we saw Josh Jacobs run Wildcat in Alabama. Like, we still see it. It's effective at times, but we don't see it every single game. There's trends that take place in college football, and the spread, up-tempo trend, we don't see as much of it, but we still see it. But we don't see as much of it like we did 5, 6, 7 years ago, when we thought that was the way to go. When we thought in order to have a chance, you have to go out and recruit a guy like Torrance Gibson or Josh Dobbs. Like, you had to. You see the NFL draft this past year?
I did.
First quarterback off the board. Who was that?
That would be Kyler Murray, who is the opposite of the prototypical NFL quarterback.
What about the second pick? Remember that? Remember the Giants?
The second quarterback off the board.
Second quarterback pick. Sorry.
That would be Daniel Jones.
What about the third quarterback pick?
Dwayne Haskins.
So 2 out of the 3 guys, they don't really run like that. Now Kyler Murray's a freak. He runs, he throws the football,
but according to Stephen A. Smith, Dwayne Haskins, his game is predicated off the run.
Yeah, he had a flub up. He had a flub up.
He had a Hunter Henry moment.
He did. Drew Lock wasn't a quote-unquote dual threat quarterback. Will Greer, not a quote-unquote dual threat quarterback. Ron Finley, not a quote-unquote dual threat quarterback. Jarrett Stidham should have been drafted a whole lot higher, but the system, I think, affected him. But he's not a dual threat quarterback. What I'm trying to say is the game is changing a little bit. The game is changing back. It's not all the way back, but it's changing back to a more pro style. When you just look at it, like look at Georgia, look at Alabama, look at LSU, look at Florida, look at the teams that are pretty good in our conference, that are at the top of our conference. If you want to look at those, the best teams, obviously Alabama and Georgia at the top, but even a step further, there's other teams that are still at the top. And throw in LSU, throw in Florida too, and what Florida should be able to do this year, you would consider them one of the top teams. But Auburn was a team that, like, no one could figure out what Gus Malzahn was doing. Like, no one could stop what Gus Malzahn was doing. Gus Malzahn was giving Nick Saban trouble. All he needed was that dual threat quarterback. It didn't matter if he could throw or not. All he needed was a dual threat quarterback and some defense, and he was a problem. He doesn't feel like a problem. What school out here goes Oregon when Marcus Mariota was there, or goes Auburn when Nick Marshall was there? What school is doing that right now? What team in college football is a up-tempo, fast-paced, no huddle? What team is doing that right now?
Oklahoma, off the top of my head.
You say Oklahoma.
I think a lot of schools are, honestly. I mean, you see it all throughout college football.
Name them.
Oklahoma.
Name the school that's doing it and winning at a high level.
Oklahoma does it. Texas did it last year with Sam Ehlinger. Alabama does it with Tua. Now, the difference being Tua doesn't run near as much as Mariota or Nick Marshall, but they do go up tempo.
They go up tempo
for a healthy portion of the game.
Up tempo and have a quarterback that is dual threat and can't throw the football.
That can't or can?
They can't throw the football. Like you saw Auburn in 2013.
Right.
Have we seen a team during Gus Malzahn's best times or Oregon's best times? Have we seen teams like that? More teams or less teams now than then?
Less teams.
Yeah, that's my point. So you're going to still see teams be successful doing it, but the volume of teams out there that are fielding an offense that go up tempo, that go spread all day long, you don't see that as much, man. I think those numbers have decreased. It's still effective, just like the Wildcat. I just said it. The trend, Wildcat trend, the up-tempo, no-huddle spread trend, it's still a place for those things. It's still a place for it in college football. You still can be effective. But I don't see as many schools relying on it like they were 7-8 years ago.
Really, the only schools that you see doing that are the non-Power 5 schools that are trying to gain an edge over the Alabamas, the LSUs, because you're not going to beat Alabama playing Alabama football. You're not going to beat LSU playing LSU football or Oklahoma playing Oklahoma football. So I think non-Power 5 teams are maybe still doing the up-tempo, trying to have an advantage when they are playing those bigger schools. It's like Army. The only reason Army came close to beating Oklahoma in Norman is because Army runs the triple option. If Army was a traditional offense, that would not have been a 2 or 3 touchdown game.
Yeah, the notion that spread and tempo is the way to go, I don't think it's prevalent as much as it was in the past.
Like, I think Mike Leach at Washington State has to do it in order to have an edge over the rest of the Pac-12, because Washington State is not that great of a job. You have to be creative to have success there.
Yeah, they are completely an air raid type of offense.
But very up-tempo was more what I was referencing.
Yeah, I mean, tempo is one thing. Spread is one thing. But putting them together is what we saw from the Oregon teams, what we saw from the Auburn teams. And I just don't see as many offenses being as successful as they were a couple years ago now. You're seeing teams right here in the South. You see teams in the ACC. Yeah, they're successful, but they don't have to adopt the Gus Malzahn brand. They don't have to adopt the Chip Kelly brand to be successful. We're starting to see a little bit of it go back in the other direction of being more pro style with, again, tempo mixed in, with some spread concepts mixed in. You see offenses being more multiple. 865-200-5503. We'll take our first break of the day. Be right back.
You don't have to take an L just because you can't listen to the Swain event live. You can catch up on the podcast posted daily on the app, online, and on iTunes.
Top 100 Barbecue Restaurant Dead End Barbecue is the best place in Knoxville to get your barbecue fix. With new specials and a new menu, there is something for everyone. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, try the Smokehouse Stew. Thursday through Saturday, the Hillbilly Chili is where it's at. Don't forget the half-off wings on Tuesdays from 4 to 8 p.m. and the salmon plate on Friday. The people spoke and Dead End listened, adding Dead End Society favorites like the Bernie Mac, Randall's Kitchen Sink Burrito, and the Barbecue Cheddar Meatloaf to the menu full time. Whether it's a game day or any day, at Dead End Barbecue, the mouth-watering barbecue search is over.
While the other guys are taking guesses, the Swain event is taking you behind the scenes and in the huddle every morning from 7 till 10 right here.
As summer selling season heats up, here are 3 home features buyers are loving. Borrow a few or all of these to potentially up the appeal and value of your home. Number 1. Get back to basics. Never underestimate the power of a nice walkway, quality mulch, some flowering shrubs, and a couple of nice planters. Number 2. Embrace a new neutral. While beige and white are classic, new neutrals are trending. Opt for soft grays, or you can even try a neutral blue. Number 3. Open space is all the rage. Homebuyers are still on the hunt for open concept floor plans. Even if your rooms are enclosed, mirrors and ample natural light can help open up your space. Whether you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate, you need a professional that will be by your side every step of the way. Call me, Jennifer Morris with Keller Williams Realty at 865-694-5904 or email me at jennifermorris865@gmail.com.
You're driving home, flashing blue lights in your rearview mirror. You pull over, step out of your car, and the next thing you know, you're being arrested for driving under the influence. Now what do? We all should be responsible. But remember, just because you're arrested doesn't mean you're guilty. Call criminal defense and DUI attorney Marcos Garza at 865-540-8300. The investigative teams at the Garza Law Firm know the justice system inside and out. They utilize cutting-edge technologies and investigative methods to prepare your specific case. Before you plead guilty to any criminal charges, call criminal defense and DUI attorney Marcos Garza. Put his number in your phone right now, 865-540-8300, because you never know when you or a friend will need it. Don't say guilty. Say Garza. 865-540-8300. 865-540-8300 and GarzaLaw.com.
You're listening to the Swain Event.
And you know this, man.
Swain Event fueled by Dead End Barbecue, top 100 barbecue restaurant. Like the advantages of the high volume of plays, up tempo, spread. The spread is easy. The spread, those advantages include getting your athletes in space. You get in them in space, making the defense cover every inch of the field horizontally, every inch of the field vertically. Screens, draws, outside runs, bubble screens, tunnel screens.
That's why Trey Mason was so effective in that Auburn offense. And I'm surprised that offenses, maybe this is just me, you would know better than I would, but I'm surprised that offenses have gone away from the Gus Malzahn type offense or philosophy, the Oregon philosophy when Marcus Mariota was there. Maybe that's because Helfrich is no longer at Oregon, and they have Mario Cristobal, who is a Nick Saban product. But it didn't ever feel like the defense 100% figured out how to defend that style of play. It still felt at times that the offense did have advantages and that the defense was still trying to keep up and catch up, really. So I'm surprised that some teams have gone away from it.
I'll tell you why. Here, laying down the strengths of the spread. The spread, put your athletes in space. When it's time to run the ball downhill, it's 3rd and 1, it's 4th and 1. That's when you gotta show power. You gotta run the ball downhill. You gotta pick up that extra yard. And sometimes spread teams are unable to do that because they're so finesse. Tempo. The advantages of tempo was simply is trying to snap the ball between 15 and 20 seconds left on the play clock, or even 20 seconds, 25 seconds left on the play clock. Just trying to get it out as quick as possible. It makes it really hard for the defense to be able to substitute.
Mm-hmm.
So if you run 4 or 5 plays in a row in same formation, by rule, you don't have to let the defense substitute. But the moment you substitute, defense is allowed to substitute and match personnel. That's why you see the referee stand over the football and wait until the defense matches personnel, lines up, and then the referee moves and allows the quarterback and the center to snap the football. But the advantage of tempo is that you can really wear down defensive linemen. Remember when Josh Dobbs was a sophomore and we played Alabama at home, and Alabama got up like 3 scores on us, and Mark Cooper just went ham. Lane Kiffin was dialing it up. Oh, it was ugly. And then we took out Peterman, put in Josh Dobbs, and we wore down the Alabama defensive line. We put up some points. Tempo gets big, strong, athletic guys that you can't block man to man straight up for 4 quarters. It makes those dudes tired. So why do I think we've seen less of the Auburn-Oregon style of offenses? Because I think once that ball hit the ground,
in terms of an incompletion,
you are in trouble. If you are ripping off first downs over and over and over and over, then, oh, yeah, you're in trouble, defense. You are in trouble. Offense has you beat. But the moment the ball hits the ground, things change. You want to go 1st and 10. You want to go with a hitch route. You want to go with a curl route. And then as soon as the ball is caught, you get up to the line of scrimmage and you snap the next play. That's cool. It works. But the moment the ball hits the ground, things change. Here's why. That play probably took about 5-6 seconds because the average play is about 6 seconds. So the ball hits the ground, the clock stops. You come back, you run a play, you go back to the run. All right, you gain 5 yards. Cool. Now it's 3rd and 5. You try to run it again, or you try to pass it again. You don't pick it up. Your defense on the sideline was only on the sideline for less than 30 seconds or less than a minute. That is the negative of going tempo. Chip Kelly went to the NFL in his first year, had success. But what happened? Other teams adjusted. And he put his defense in a really bad spot because he was going tempo. And the moment he didn't pick up a first down, his defense was back on the field, and his own defense wore down. Where he's trying to wear the other defense down, he wore his own defense down. That's the negative. And it's just not worth it. Like, look at Arkansas. Chad Morris, that's what he did at SMU. Mm-hmm. Tempo. You think John Chavis is happy about that?
Probably not.
You think he loves tempo?
Probably does not. But I will say I think Arkansas is one of those schools, as I mentioned last segment, that you have to be a little bit different than the other teams in your conference, because Alabama, LSU, Texas A&M, Auburn all have distinct advantages over you in terms of the type of players that they are going to bring in for the most part. Arkansas is not going to be able to out Alabama. Brett Bielema tried to do it. That did not go over too well for him. Instead, Brett Bielema was getting in shouting matches with players and officials and coaches from Alabama in the middle of the game. So I 100% agree with what you're saying. But if there is a school to do it, it's got to be Arkansas. Because if you're Arkansas, like I mentioned, you're not going to out Alabama or LSU. Now, they'll match up favorably with Auburn as long as Gus Malzahn is there, because those two teams are going to want to do the same thing. But I kind of like that Arkansas is shifting things up, switching things up, and doing this up tempo, because I think at Arkansas you do have to be creative in that sense to be successful in order to potentially beat Alabama. If you're going to beat Alabama, it's going to be because you're creative, not because you're trying to hit them in the mouth and do what they do.
If you are at Arkansas, you need to do what Dan Mullen did at Mississippi State, and that is every 2 to 3 years you make your run. Mm-hmm. You take your players, you develop them, and then when they are juniors or seniors, then you make your run. That's that year. I don't think you're going to be able to do what Gus Malzahn was able to do.
No.
Gus Malzahn was a high school coach that had a system that was unstoppable. And the reason he entered the college game is because he had a quarterback that Arkansas wanted. And Gus Malzahn started his coaching career in college at Arkansas in the mid-2000s. I think if you're Arkansas, I think if you're Mississippi State, I think if you're Ole Miss, I don't know if you need to go the Auburn route and go up-tempo all the time. But what you need to do is develop better than the schools like maybe Florida, Georgia, Tennessee, whatever, teams that have that brand that go out there and recruit. Because we've had that problem. Florida's had that problem. All the big schools tend to have that problem sometimes because they take for granted all the talent that they do get. Well, they don't know how to use them.
For example, Arkansas got Trey Knox, and at least through the spring, it appears to be a mistake on Tennessee's part to not take Trey Knox. And it's insanely early. We have not seen a whole lot from Ramel Keaton. We haven't seen Gerard Means at all, the wide receivers that are incoming this summer.
I think if he's good, I think it's still not a mistake. Even if he's good.
Even if Means and Ramel Keaton don't do a whole lot?
No, I think it wouldn't be a mistake even if he's good and Ramel and Means is
just kind of middle of the road.
If they are just what are we talking about? We talking about Trey Knox being like a 1,000-yard receiver and then our guys being at 300-400?
Yeah.
No, I don't think it would be a mistake.
Do you say that because the logic behind not bringing in Trey Knox absolutely makes sense?
Yes.
They wanted a speed guy. Trey Knox is a possession receiver.
And your whole group
is possession receivers.
Correct.
That makes sense. It's going to look funky in 2 to 3 years if Trey Knox does turn out to be a really good SEC receiver. He's from Tennessee. Tennessee had a chance to bring him in. I believe Trey Knox wanted to come to Tennessee.
He wanted to come to Tennessee.
And they said no.
He came to camp. He ran his 40. He earned a committable offer, but then he didn't.
Which is weird.
He earned an offer, but he didn't because he wasn't he did a good job, but he just wasn't fast enough for the group. Arkansas, he could be successful at Arkansas because they may have faster receivers and he fits a spot that they currently don't have. Whereas at Tennessee, we already got a bunch of Trey Knox dudes. So he could statistically have a better year than Ramel Keaton. That doesn't mean that Tennessee, made a mistake. The offensive line is a unit, and you need different guys to do different things. You got to work together. Where the wide receivers, they're not just like the offensive line, but they are a unit, and you can't have everyone doing the same thing. You need speed. Just because Means numbers may not be as strong as Trey Knox, the group success could be better than Arkansas's group success at wide receiver because Means does a great job of taking the top off the coverage, and that can open it up for other guys to have success. It can open up for the entire group to have success.
Right. No, I brought him up more to say that you had mentioned that if you're Arkansas, Mississippi State, Ole Miss, you have to be better at developing players than Tennessee, Georgia, schools like that. Yeah. And Trey Knox is a perfect example of that, of a bigger school in the conference passing up on him. If you're going to get him, you have to knock it out of the park and develop him into a very productive SEC wide receiver.
Yeah. You have to develop players very well. Dan Mullen did that at Mississippi State, where every 2 to 3 years they made a run. They made a run where they beat LSU. They made a run where they, kept it close with Alabama and was a possession away from beating Alabama. You just got to make those runs when they're available to you. That second, that third year, the difference between Mississippi State when Dan Mullen was there and Georgia and Alabama right now is that because they recruit well every single year, they're expected to win big every single year. I think the Gus Malzahn Auburn days, man. I think those days are over. I don't think you can do with Gus Malzahn. I don't think Gus Malzahn will get back to doing what he did in 2013 at Auburn very soon.
When you say they are over, do you mean having the success that Gus had?
Dominating like he did.
Like making a national championship.
Yeah, dominating. Defense is not having an answer. I think those days are over.
I think it would take a very innovative coach to reignite that flame.
Yeah, I think the domination of tempo plus spread, I think those days are over. Trying to run up 90 plays, 100 plays, I think those days are over, especially in this conference. I think those days are over. 865-200-5503, B-Dry Waterproofing Hotline. Stay with us.
For a replay of each day's Swain Event TV, like us on Facebook.
We have all made the mistake of dropping or breaking our smartphones. See? But did you know that you can have it repaired for a fraction of the cost that it takes to replace it? Well, you can, because iDrop is the area's leading mobile repair store, home of the 1 hour or less phone repair, 1-year parts warranty, and #1 customer service. Broken screens, cracked cameras, charging ports, batteries, you break it, we'll fix it. If you didn't break your phone, protect it with one of our leading accessories such as LifeProof, OtterBox, UAG, Incipico, Caseology, and Spec. Visit our West Hills location at 7115 Kingston Pike between Office Depot and Hardee's, or call 865-888-9740 and speak with our trained technicians to see how we can get your phone working today.
When you see the happy face on our truck, you'll be smiling because you'll know that you're in love.
It's freezing in here, Mary. What's wrong with your heater? The repairman can't get here till next week. Sugar, you've got the wrong guy. My guy is fast and has free heating service calls when he does the repair.
Hi, I'm Jimmy Hiller. Take advantage of a free service call with any repair.
Call the Happy Face Truck today.
While the other guys are taking guesses, the Swain event is taking you behind the scenes and in the huddle every morning from 7 till 10 right here.
We're here with Dr. Mike Carlson of Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine. If you have orthopedic injuries such as shoulder pain, knee pain, or instability, Achilles tendonitis, golfers or tennis elbow, do what I did and give them a call.
Yeah, Jason, we specialize in regenerative non-surgical orthopedics. So we treat damaged ligaments, tendons, and joints, including things like rotator cuff injuries, knee instability, elbow problems, as well as foot problems like plantar fasciitis, Achilles, things of that nature, by injecting with stem cells in what's called PRP, or platelet-rich plasma. And this form of treatment we do under ultrasound, so we know we have our target. And it also stimulates the body's own reparative process, and this allows for the healing of damaged tissue. And as you well know, numerous professional and collegiate athletes, guys like Steph Curry, Tiger Woods, and even yourself with your ankle injury, have been using this form of treatment for years. And so we offer that same type of treatment here in East Tennessee.
Visit them on the web at trsportsmedicine.com. Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine, East Tennessee's leader in regenerative therapy.
Craving flavors that don't take hours in the kitchen? Mrs. Grissom's cheese spreads and chicken salads are the perfect go-to. Ready-to-eat meals and snacks found in the meat or dairy section at your local grocery store. Whether you crave the classic Mrs. Grissom's pimento cheese or the gluten-free select varieties like the cranberry pecan chicken salad, enjoy small-town flavor in every bite. Select the best. Select Mrs. Grissom's.
I'm Vince Moore, wide receiver, VFL 1991, and you're listening to the Swain event. Around the SEC, powered by 42nd Street Marketing, your game-winning play call for design, marketing, and branding.
Top 100 barbecue restaurant in America around the SEC is brought to you by 42nd Street Design, 42sd.com. Taking care of all your branding needs, website design, logo design, and print design. Ben, what we got for around the SEC today?
Several news and notes today. We will start with Clemson grad transfer running back Tavion Feaster. I get it, Clemson is not in the SEC, but he is transferring and is considering two SEC schools, those schools being Alabama and Mississippi State, according to Woody Womack of Rivals. Tavion Feaster. These schools have been in touch with him since he entered the transfer portal, and he will start setting up official visits soon. Those schools are Texas, Alabama, Oklahoma, Virginia Tech, Mississippi State, and this last school is completely out of the box and has no relation to the other schools. East Carolina.
Where's Tennessee?
They are not listed.
Huh?
They are not listed.
That's a mistake. That got to be a mistake.
Not according to Woody Womack. Are you saying it's a mistake and Woody Womack is forgetting Tennessee, or that it's a mistake on Tennessee's part for maybe not expressing interest?
I mean, is that article laying out the teams who are interested or the teams that Feaster is interested in?
Both. It says that these are the schools that have reached out to him since he entered the portal, which is Texas, Alabama, Oklahoma, Virginia Tech, Mississippi State, East Carolina. And then it says that Feaster will start setting up official visits soon.
I would be surprised if Tennessee has not shown interest.
Or at least done their homework.
That makes sense. And I don't think Mr. Womack is all that loved around these parts anyways.
Fair enough.
With some of his evaluations of players in the Southeast.
I get it. That makes sense. Do you think that Tavian Feaster is an upgrade over Ty Chandler? I'll take that as a yes.
I'm trying to think. Think about Tavian Feaster's game at Clemson. They're really alike. I think Tavian's faster. I know Tavian Feaster's faster. There's no think about it.
Yeah.
They're kind of the same.
This past season, he had 78 carries for 440 yards and 6 touchdowns, 11 catches. During his time at Clemson, he carried the ball 222 times, 1,300 yards, and 15 touchdowns. And had 23 catches, 183 yards, and a touchdown. I don't know if he's better than Ty Chandler, but I would love to see a duo of Tavian Feaster and Ty Chandler. Tavian Feaster is better than Tennessee's number 2, number 3, number 4 option as of today.
Yeah, I'm leaning yes that he's better.
Fair enough.
It's hard for me to say that our best back is better than a school that has a better football program currently than Alabama.
And one that has won 2 out of the last 3 national championships.
Like Tavion,
I get it.
Yeah. The only reason why Tavion's not playing is because there's 2 studs.
Travis Etienne and...
What's the second one?
I thought Feaster was the number 2 back.
Maybe Feaster's number 2.
I thought he was. Maybe I'm misremembering. But to your point, when I think of Clemson's running game, I think of Travis Etienne. I mean, a minute ago when I almost said Travis Etienne instead of Tavian Feaster.
I mean, he's about to be a senior. He's not playing in front of Etienne.
Yeah, no doubt.
If I were him, it has to be another person in the way that's making him transfer, because he can still get the rock. He can still be like Ronnie Brown and Cadillac Williams. He can still be like Leonard Fournette and Williams there at LSU a couple years ago.
Darrell Williams.
Darrell Williams that was supposed to come here, committed here, but then he flipped to LSU. But you can still be productive with the 2-back system. Now, when the 3rd back enters the equation, now it gets a little difficult. So I'm guessing that's what happened with Tavion Feaster. I'm guessing.
I'm sure they signed a big old 5-star. I'm sure they are bringing in a 5-star.
Lynn J. Dixon.
That's right.
Yep.
Also a former. Was he committed to Tennessee at one point? I believe he was.
Yeah, and
I know Tennessee was very well. The two had very mutual interest under Bush Jones.
He was a freshman last year, so that's why Tavion Feaster is leaving.
And he was good last year.
Lynn J. Dixon, Travis Etienne. I would probably say that maybe he's a little bit better than Ty Chandler.
Yeah, even if he's not better than Ty Chandler, he's good enough to be Tennessee's number 2 running back immediately, and the difference isn't very much, if at all.
I think if he's here, it's 1A, 1B.
Yes, which I would love to see that. But if you're Tavion Feaster, do you want to spend your last year of college football running behind this offensive line?
Yeah,
I will move on.
I do.
According to Brett McMurphy,
I love orange.
bowl season is now 1 day closer because according to the NCAA Football Oversight Committee, they will allow bowls to begin on Friday, December 20th instead of the 21st. Earlier start needed because of uniqueness of calendar and limited number of weekends in the 2019 bowl season compared with others. You mentioned this to me before the show, and we talked about it on Around the SEC a day or two ago. Michael Lombardi, who is a longtime NFL executive with the Browns, worked with Bill Belichick when Bill Belichick was with the Browns, mentioned that offense at Auburn, I'm not sure what the hell that is, which is an all-time great quote. They run power, they run unbalanced, but anyway, that offense seriously might be one of the worst offenses in football, so you can't evaluate a quarterback in it, or they can't train a quarterback. That's the other thing. Gus Malzahn can't train them. You mentioned that Tommy Tuberville had some comments. I found Gus Malzahn's comments because Gus Malzahn spoke on Wednesday at the Regions Traditions golf tournament in Birmingham and chose to take the high road when responding to Lombardi's criticism. He cited his success over the past 10 years, saying, I'd say this. I've been in this league 10 years, and we've been pretty successful offensively. Last year was a tough year. We were very inexperienced. We had some growing pains, but I feel really good about our offense moving forward. Really excited about the future.
When you don't have anything to say back,
you take the high road.
You need to take the high road. Like, what Tommy Tuberville did was just embarrass himself in his quotes. I don't know if you have his quotes pulled up or not, but Tommy Tuberville basically said, how many championships has this guy won? And then cited that Gus Malzahn lost the quarterback coach. So wait a minute. I thought Gus Malzahn was a wizard. If he's a wizard, you don't have to rely on another coach to run your offense. You're the wizard. You're getting paid $7 million to be the wizard. So it's Red Lashley's fault that the offense is bad because he left? And then Tommy Tuberville, how many championships did Lombardi have? Well, Lombardi, who popped back, said, I won 3 championships and was in 8 conference championships. He should read my book. And he can figure out whether he knows some of the stuff I know in my book. If he thinks I know nothing, I would love the opportunity to spend an hour in a room talking football. And then after he's done talking with me, I want to figure out what he thinks he knows. This is what Lombardi said when he popped back at Tommy Tuberville. Listen, I'm on Lombardi's side on this.
Oh, I am too.
I am not on Tommy Tuberville's side at all. At all.
And I'm also all for drama at other schools in the offseason than at Tennessee.
He says, I criticized the Auburn offense. Then Gus Malzahn was obviously not happy, but maybe he should look at it and say, maybe I need to examine it. I'm not saying he should take advice from me, but my credential should allow himself to think I didn't pull this out of my butt.
I love Michael Lombardi. I listen to his podcast that he does each week, and it's so insightful.
He's speaking the truth, man. Jarrett Stidham was the next first-round quarterback stud. Like, when he was at Baylor, you could just see it all over him. And when he picked Auburn, I was like, what are you doing? Why? Their system does not match your game. And then we saw what happened with Jarrett Stidham. They failed to use him. They failed to develop him. He did not get better. He got worse. And luckily, he failed to the perfect situation, which is learning from Tom Brady with the New England Patriots.
Real quick, before we move on to Attaboy, Florida and Colorado have announced an agreement between its program and Colorado for a home-and-home series in 2028, 2029. And then Colorado also announced yesterday an additional home-and-home series against Missouri, which will be in 2025 and then 2030. What's funny about this is Florida's Twitter account was hyping this new home-and-home series up all day on social media, and then they announced a home-and-home with Colorado. I don't believe Florida has played an out-of-conference road game since 1991, I believe was the year. I may be way off on that, but I believe that is correct. My point being, Florida hasn't played a non-conference game on the road outside of Florida in a very, very long time. So fans were actually excited about this because Oklahoma's been dishing out home and home series, and Texas, and fans were excited to hopefully get one of those schools, and then they announced Colorado. So if you want to laugh, go to Florida's Twitter account and just read the mentions to Florida announcing this. It's pretty hilarious.
So Florida's going to Colorado.
Yes, in
they should be happy.
2028, 2029. I know the Florida players are very happy about going to Colorado. The fans, on the other hand,
they should be happy about going to Colorado.
Most of them, because they can do the things that they do in Florida and not get arrested.
I want to know if that game is in November. I hope it's in November, to where it's cold. Why haven't they played Central Florida yet? Schedule Central Florida, man. That'd be good.
They play in September 8th is when they will play in Colorado. September 8th, 2029.
So it'll be still hot.
Yeah.
This is good for Colorado, though.
Oh, absolutely.
This is a win for Colorado for sure. Big time win. 865-200-5503 B-Drive Waterproofing Hotline.
At work? Can't call in? Don't feel bad. You can talk to the guys on the text box. It's part of the free Swain Event app.
There's a 30% chance of rain today, partly sunny with a high of 83 and a low of 65. The chance of showers increases to 50% tomorrow, mostly cloudy with a high near 81 and a low around 62. Rain likely on Saturday with a high in the mid-70s. Weather on the Swain Event is brought to you by B-Dry. If your basement is wet or cracked, B-Dry can help. BDry.com.
JC's Tree and Landscaping Service specializes in quality tree work done at an affordable price. Trimming and removing trees are their specialty. They also offer other services like land clearing, stump grinding, crane services, and all of your basic landscaping needs for both commercial and residential. JC's will give you a free estimate and beat any written quote by a competitor to guarantee that you get the lowest price around. Don't risk your land with a fly-by-night service. JC's Tree and Landscaping is licensed and insured. Give them a call at 865-599-3799.
Thinking about trying CBD oil but not sure where to get it or who to trust for a quality supplement? Our friends at Tennessee Valley Hemp Company invite you to try their full spectrum hemp extract, available in 500 milligram and 1,000 milligram strengths. They are a local company based right here in Knoxville whose crops are grown in East Tennessee. Their farmers are committed to cultivating pharmaceutical grade hemp oil that produces results. It is only available in community pharmacies where you can get questions answered by experienced professionals. If you are unsure whether or not it's okay to take hemp extract with your existing medications, pharmacists are happy to perform interaction checks that keep you safe and healthy. You can find out more by visiting or calling any of these local drugstores. Gordon's Drugstore in Carnes, Vaughn's Drugstore in Powell, Stanford Drugs in New Tazewell, or Farragut Pharmacy in Farragut. Check them out on Facebook at Tennessee Valley Hemp Company, and don't forget to hit the like button. When you buy, remember to ask for the only hemp oil that supports your health and the power T. Tennessee Valley Hemp Company. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Do you have sloping or uneven floors, foundation cracks, or a leaning chimney? Do your windows and doors not open properly, or are there gaps where the floor and walls meet? Don't worry, B-Dry offers approved foundation repair solutions like steel I-beams, helical piering, epoxy injections, carbon fiber applications, and more. Make sure that your home is on stable ground with B-Dry. Call them at 865-588-0454 or find them online at bdry.com.
Have you noticed lack of energy, motivation, and drive? Call the Low T Center and schedule a complete health assessment today. Whether you have sleep apnea and need a CPAP or have low testosterone or low thyroid levels, Low T Center will get you feeling great again. If you're a man over 30 and haven't had an annual checkup, don't wait until you feel bad. Do yourself a favor and get a quick and easy health assessment today. Services are covered by most health insurance. Call 865-392-1388 or go to lowtcenter.com. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
Boost your car insurance.
Nobody likes surprises, so switch to Erie Rate Lock. Get a great rate that stays that way even after an accident, ticket, or inflation. In fact, it's locked until you change a car, driver, or your address.
Your Erie agent in Knoxville is InsureFit RM. Get a quote at 865-684-4900. That's 865-684-4900.
Erie Rate Lock does not guarantee continued insurance coverage and is not available in all states.
I just wanted to come by and congratulate you on the great work you've been doing.
I like your style. You remind me of a young me.
Failure is not an option.
That boy is good.
Homes, remind yourself, nobody built like you. You design yourself.
Attaboy.
All right, it's time for Attaboy. What we got today, Mr. Ben?
I'm going back to Missouri to give Marcus Golden A for what? Marcus Golden, for those who don't know, is a former Missouri defensive end, and now he plays for the Arizona Cardinals. And if you've been paying attention to the news lately, you would have seen, I want to say maybe it was over the weekend. It was over the weekend. That unfortunately, a St. Louis 8th grader, Jalen McKenzie, who was a big-time football player, 8th grader, was shot and killed outside of a party over the weekend. As I mentioned, he was a football phenom for being an 8th grader, was well known around the St. Louis community, was shot and killed outside of a party. And Marcus Golden is sending money to the young man's family to help cover costs for the funeral. So according to Gabe DeArmond, who covers Missouri, he tweets that following the death of St. Louis area 8th grader Jalen McKenzie last weekend, former Mizzou football star and Afton, Missouri native Marcus Golden sent money to help cover funeral costs for the family. And I also saw on social media where Ezekiel Elliott reached out and offered to help cover the funeral. So just an attaboy to Marcus Golden and to Ezekiel Elliott for just doing the right thing and trying to give back to an unfortunate situation. Just such a sad situation, but kudos to Marcus Golden and Ezekiel Elliott for trying to help.
Both players are tied to the state of Missouri. Obviously, Marcus Golden because he played in Missouri. Ezekiel Elliott's father played in Missouri. And when Ezekiel Elliott was coming out, many people thought he was going to go to Missouri to follow his dad's footsteps, but he went to Ohio State instead. So they're both tied to that community, that area, and it makes me furious that someone with so much promise, someone with so much to live for, and so much ahead of him, his life was taken away. 865-250-503. Hour 2 coming up.
Touchdown or turnover is up next on the Swain event.
When I made the move to my own studio, I was worried about this. I was worried about that. I was worried about, hey, did I get this piece of equipment? Did I get that piece of equipment? Does that sound good? Does that not sound good? One thing I didn't have to worry about, that was office furniture, because Office Furniture Outfitters met my furniture needs. With a 50,000 square foot facility, they have East Tennessee's largest selection and are the best value for new and used office furniture. Located in Knoxville, it's easy to find everything you need for your new space, including desks, file cabinets, chairs, conference tables, and more. Office Furniture Outfitters is turnkey. They came to my place, we mapped everything out that was needed, they delivered, and get this, set everything up. To learn more about what Office Furniture Outfitters can do for you, log on to OFOKnox.com. That's OFOKnox.com.
In debt? In too deep? Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union says, stop treading water and get out of the deep end. If you've got debt, make a splash and come get some cash. If Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union can refinance your car, boat, camper, motorcycle, credit cards, personal or home loan, they'll pay you up to $500. So come take the plunge right now. Refinance your loans. Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union will pay you. 5 convenient locations. Visit atfcu.com. Equal housing lender.
Touchdown or Turnover is backed by Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union, a place where you belong. Touchdown or Turnover is backed by Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union, a place where you belong.
Touchdown Turnover backed by Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union, a place where you belong. Better rates and better service. ATSCU.com. Look, NBA playoffs, man. NBA playoffs. Touchdown or turnover, Kyrie Irving will play in the Eastern Conference next year. He is currently in the Eastern Conference with the Boston Celtics. He will not be with the Boston Celtics again. But do we feel like next year he will be in the Eastern Conference, touchdown or turnover?
This is a very tough question. Because, as you mentioned, I don't think he's going to be back with the Boston Celtics. You want to talk about a jam-packed for what segment? Kyrie Irving, Paul Pierce, the Lakers, for what should be fun. But I'll go touchdown that he won't be back in the Eastern Conference. I think that he will find a way to end up with LeBron in LA. They've proven
he will be. So touchdown, he will be in the Eastern Conference.
Oh, sorry, turnover. I thought you asked the opposite.
Yeah.
Turnover. I think he will be in LA with LeBron. So I do not think he will be in the Eastern Conference. I think these past 2 years have proven that Kyrie is obviously one of the best point guards in the league, but a team is not going to have great success when Kyrie Irving is your best player. I think that is what this postseason, this regular season has shown us. He has had so many mishaps in trying to be a leader. Even last year, the Celtics got to Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals without Kyrie Irving. So I go turnover. I think he'll be in LA next year and won't be in the Eastern Conference Final.
I'm saying touchdown. I think he will be in the Eastern Conference next year. I think if you are Kyrie Irving, obviously you're not going to be back with Boston, but why the heck would you want to go to LA right now with all the drama that's taking place? You don't have to be the man to stay in the East. You can pair it with someone else, maybe like Kevin Durant with the New York Knicks, and you can still be Robin. Everybody wants to be the man. Everyone wants to be the guy. If I'm a wide receiver, I want to be a number one wide receiver. Well, maybe you play better as the number two. You see NFL wide receivers who are number 2 or number 3 wide receivers on a certain team, they go to another team, get more money, they are featured as a number 1 wide receiver, and then they don't have any success. We see that all the time. Kyrie Irving was number 2 when he was with LeBron. He was the sidekick. He was Robin. LeBron was Batman. He wanted his own team. He got his own team. He wanted to be a leader. He's not built to be a leader.
and look at them. So I don't think he'll be back with Boston. I don't think he goes to the Western Conference unless he goes to like the Clippers or someone like that. Who in their right mind would go want to play with the Lakers?
Well, you mentioned the Knicks. Who in their right mind would want to go play for the Knicks with James Dolan?
It's New York, though.
I get it, but James Dolan, I would not want to play for James Dolan.
The Lakers are worse than the Knicks right now.
If I'm Kyrie, I would rather play with LeBron in LA with the Lakers than with James Dolan. James Dolan is just a terrible human being who has terrible karma.
So Kevin Durant, Knicks, or LeBron, Lakers?
For Kyrie?
Yeah.
I don't think KD goes to the Knicks. So I think if I'm KD, you know who I go to?
Clippers?
Yep. With that young nucleus?
He's from Maryland. He's from the East Coast.
Or if I'm KD, I'm just staying with the Warriors, honestly.
And there's opportunity for KD and TV too in New York. Have his own TV show.
Surely there's that possibility in LA as well, though. Yeah. It's LA.
Yeah. I mean, both. Here's a funny.
I'm just completely out on James Dolan and the Knicks. Completely out.
You have to feel the same way about the Lakers then. Like if you feel that way about the Knicks, you have to feel the same way about the Lakers.
I do.
You have to.
I do.
This is an example of an organization with the brand name, the fan base, the history, the tradition, not being ran properly and being a laughingstock of a league, of the sports community, period. And Tennessee fans, we can identify. Look at the Lakers, man.
Can't get out of their own way.
Look at the Knicks. The two biggest markets in the world. Madison Square Garden, it's the mecca of basketball. That's the only thing that's good about the NIT tournament.
The second mecca of basketball, the true mecca, is Thompson Bowling Arena.
Stop! No!
Yes!
No, it's not.
Thompson Bowling Arena is the mecca of basketball, both professionally, internationally, and collegiate.
It's Madison Square Garden. NIT.
Yeah, the Rangers play there, right?
The NIT, man. That is the mecca. That is the mecca. Are you going Max Kellerman on me right now?
Max
Are you trolling on purpose?
Who's had a rougher week, Max Kellerman or Paul Pierce?
Paul Pierce.
I don't know. Max Kellerman has had two ridiculous comments. He had the what was the first one that he made about Kobe and Kawhi? Kawhi being a
better clutch player.
And then he also said Larry Fitzgerald might make the Hall of Fame. What? Larry Fitzgerald might make the Hall of Fame?
Yeah. The Larry Fitzgerald might
Max
was bad. You can statistically kind of back up the Kawhi Leonard stuff. You could with just stats, but it ain't going to fly with me.
Nope.
Paul Pierce is 100% wrong. Because he said that the Celtics were going to sweep the Bucks after the first game. He said the series was over.
He said his quote was, "I just don't know where the Bucks go from here."
And the Bucks won every single game since he made that comment.
But because he is a former player, his correction is right 100% of the time.
His takes are right 100% of the time?
Because he is a former player, his takes are right 100% of the time.
Yeah. That's why I never, ever come across like I just know it just because I play.
Right.
I always try to back it up. I always try to listen. I always try to have an open mind to those who may not have played. There are certain topics that I'm going to know more about.
Absolutely.
I'm going to be right. You ain't going to have a chance. But there's other topics where it's up in the air. And you can't have that, oh, I played, I know you don't. Because if you do that, you look stupid like Paul Pierce.
Right. Well, the reason I mentioned that is because Doug Gottlieb famous hot take artist, once said that because he is a former player, all of his opinions are right more often than journalists who cover the sport.
Yeah, sometimes journalists are right.
But I also know former players in the media who do not pay attention on a daily basis to the sport that they want to talk about during their weekly radio spot or things like that. Like they won't pay attention all week long, and then they have all the takes in the world come their radio spot once a week.
Do you like to share some detail of what you?
Well, I can.
Who you talking? No, I mean, who you talking about, or what you saying, Ben?
I don't listen to. Well, I do listen to a lot of podcasts, but the one show that I always listen to is the Chris Vernon show out of Memphis because he is hilarious. It's good content, and I love the Grizzlies. But he has former players. I'm sorry too. He has former players on there all the time, and he has had several on there that come on to give their analysis on different topics, and it's kind of, you can just tell that they don't really pay attention. You can just tell.
Yeah, but former players will always get that pass from the listener because they are a former player.
Correct.
And
it's understandable.
Yeah, like I've been around former players in this industry that don't do their homework, don't show prep, because they know that whatever they say,
people are going to
believe it because they're a former player.
Yep.
Like, I've seen that.
Yeah, my comment was more directed towards Doug Gottlieb's famous comment.
No,
saying that he's a former player, his opinion is always right.
Paul Pierce messed it up for the former players. He did. 865-250-503 B-Dry Waterproofing Hotline.
Chip Payne says, you know it's bad in L.A. when Ty Lue turned down the Lakers job. The Knicks and Lakers are the same, just like Spider-Man looking at another Spider-Man.
Well, the Lakers, Ty Lue turned down the job because the Lakers tried to slide in Jason Kidd as the assistant coach.
Well, that and Ty Lue felt disrespected. I don't know if the Lakers flat out told Ty Lue, but the Lakers viewed Ty Lue as the only coach who could coach LeBron, and Ty Lue felt disrespected by that. He didn't think that he was only LeBron's coach. He thinks that he could be an NBA coach wherever.
Yeah,
so couple that with the whole Jason Kidd situation, which if I'm Ty Lue, that scares me because the Cavaliers convinced David Blatt to hire Ty Lue as his top assistant, and a year after that, Ty Lue was the head coach and David Blatt was fired.
What's worse about the whole situation is the Lakers tried to hire Jason Kidd as the number 2, and Jason Kidd already has a reputation for bulldozing his way to the head job. He did it in Milwaukee, and how he left in Milwaukee was filled with drama. So yeah, man, Ty Lue, I would have walked away from that deal too, man. The Lakers are an absolute mess.
And they didn't offer him enough money. There are several factors. Ty Lue felt disrespected by being considered as the only guy that can coach LeBron, being LeBron's coach, didn't offer him enough money, and the whole Jason Kidd situation.
About 2.5, 3 years ago, I had a take. That the Tennessee Volunteers on the football field, you will start to see some improvement. They will start winning at a high level when the Cleveland Browns start winning at a high level. And I remember people looked at me like I was crazy. They did not agree. What does one have to do with the other? What? And I simply said, because if the Browns are winning, that means that Mr. Haslam is letting football people do football things, and he is taking a step back. And if he does that with Cleveland and they're successful, he's going to do the thing with Tennessee. Do the same thing with Tennessee, and Tennessee is going to be able to be successful. Man, what do you know? What do you know, man? What do you know? The Cleveland Browns are looking really, really good. Positioned to maybe do some damage in the regular season, maybe win a division title or get a wild card spot. And the Tennessee Volunteers look like they're ready to at least get to a bowl game. I mean, hey, that take is looking pretty good.
Tennessee is ready to at least beat Vanderbilt.
I said, go to a bowl game. I don't want to talk about Vanderbilt. I tell you a take that was bad. A take that was bad was my support of Willie Taggart as a college football coach. Because when he was in Oregon, he, according to my sources, may have been interested in the Tennessee job. And I felt like that would have been a good pick. He went to Florida State, and it's been a train wreck.
Did you see or hear about Florida State's APR that came out yesterday?
They stupid and sorry?
Terrible. To the point to where if they don't get it turned around here in the next couple of years, the next year or two, they will face some repercussions.
They won't be able to go to a bowl game.
Yeah. They're in hot water.
865-250-503. Be right back.
While the other guys are taking guesses, the Swain event is taking you behind the scenes and in the huddle every morning from 7 till 10 right here.
We're here with Dr. Mike Carlson of Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine. If you have orthopedic injuries such as shoulder pain, knee pain, or instability, Achilles tendonitis, golfers, or tennis elbow, do what I did and give them a call.
Yeah, Jason, we specialize in regenerative non-surgical orthopedics. So we treat damaged ligaments, tendons, and joints, including things like rotator cuff injuries, knee instability, elbow problems, as well as foot problems like plantar fasciitis, Achilles, things of that nature, by injecting with stem cells and what's called PRP, or platelet-rich plasma. And this form of treatment we do under ultrasound, so we know we have our target. And it also stimulates the body's own reparative process, and this allows for the healing of damaged tissue. And as you well know, numerous professional and collegiate athletes, guys like Steph Curry, Tiger Woods, and even yourself with your ankle injury, have been using this form of treatment for years. And so we offer that same type of treatment here in East Tennessee.
Visit them on the web at trsportsmedicine.com. Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine, East Tennessee's leader in regenerative therapy.
Top 100 Barbecue Restaurant Dead End Barbecue is the best place in Knoxville to get your barbecue fix. With new specials and a new menu, there is something for everyone. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, try the Smokehouse Stew. Thursday through Saturday, the Hillbilly Chili is where it's at. Don't forget the half-off wings on Tuesdays from 4 to 8 p.m. and the salmon plate on Friday. The people spoke and Dead End listened, adding Dead End Society favorites like the Bernie Mac, Randall's Kitchen Sink Burrito, and the Barbecue Cheddar Meatloaf to the menu full time. Whether it's a game day or any day, at Dead End Barbecue, the mouth-watering barbecue search is over.
We have all made the mistake of dropping or breaking our smartphones. See? But did you know that you can have it repaired for a fraction of the cost that it takes to replace it? Well, you can, because iDrop is the area's leading mobile repair store, home of the 1 hour or less phone repair, 1 year parts warranty, and #1 customer service. Broken screens, cracked cameras, charging ports, batteries, you break it, we'll fix it. If you didn't break your phone, protect it with one of our leading accessories such as LifeProof, OtterBox, UAG, Incipico, Caseology, and Spec. Visit our West Hills location at 7115 Kingston Pike between Office Depot and Hardee's, or call 865-888-9740 and speak with our trained technicians to see how we can get your phone working today.
As summer selling season heats up, here are 3 home features buyers are loving. Borrow a few or all of these to potentially up the appeal and value of your home. Number 1, get back to basics. Never underestimate the power of a nice walkway, quality mulch, some flowering shrubs, and a couple of nice planters. Number 2, embrace a new neutral. While beige and white are classic, new neutrals are trending. Opt for soft grays, or you can even try a neutral blue. Number 3, open space is all the rage. Homebuyers are still on the hunt for open concept floor plans. Even if your rooms are enclosed, mirrors and ample natural light can help open up your space. Whether you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate, you need a professional that will be by your side every step of the way. Call me, Jennifer Morris, with Keller Williams Realty at 865-694-5904 or email me at jennifermorris865@gmail.com.
When you see the happy face on our truck, you'll be smiling cause you'll know that you're in love.
It's freezing in here, Mary. What's wrong with your heater? The repairman can't get here till next week. Sugar, you've got the wrong guy. My guy is fast and has free heating service calls when he does the repair.
Hi, I'm Jimmy Hiller. Take advantage of a free service call with any repair.
Call the Happy Face Truck today.
If you aren't following the Swain event on Twitter, then are you even on Twitter? Hit that follow button. It's the right thing to do.
Yeah, so apparently App did something a little funky in the segment before last. Looks like Comcast maybe had a little hiccup, but everything seems to be working just fine right now. Apologize for any technical difficulties there, but we should be good to go. 865-250-503 B-Dry Waterproofing Hotline. Ben McKee, Jason Swain, hour 2 on the Swain event. 8:21 on a Thursday. Vol in Birmingham says, I don't know if you talked about this, but with Tate Ratledge and Justin Rogers announcing commitment dates, do you think we get one or both or neither? We will not get both, from what I have heard.
Yeah, I think Tate Ratledge is all Georgia.
Yeah, I think he's a Georgia guy.
And he has a great relationship with Sam Pittman, which that is going to be hard to overcome. Georgia's offensive line coach, who is, in my opinion, is the best offensive line coach in the country. But kudos to Tennessee for making it a tough decision. Tate Ratledge mentioned that a couple of weeks ago, that Tennessee made it a much tougher decision than he ever anticipated. He visited Tennessee 3 times, was here for the spring game. But going to be hard to steal that one from Georgia.
And then Justin Rogers, man, he was at Kentucky. He got some Kentucky crystal balls his way, right?
Makes no sense to me.
Oh, it makes perfect sense if you're Kentucky. This is a time when you do what you got to do. It's believable.
There is never a time.
It's believable, man.
At Kentucky to do this and for it to be believable.
They won 10 games last year. It's close to home. It's the SEC.
It's Kentucky.
It's more believable than it was.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
If you get one of these guys, it's believable. If you go Ole Miss and start getting like 3, 4, 5 guys, the top of 2, 3 guys that are at the top of their position, then it looks like blue chips. Like, whoa. You get Neon Badeau, Butch McCray, Ricky Rowe. Wait a minute. Then it starts getting crazy. But
just one? You're saying one isn't suspicious?
I mean, I remember when Matt Elam was a 5-star defensive tackle. He was from Kentucky, but Kentucky got him. He got him to stay home
over Alabama, and that was a committable offer from Alabama. Alabama wanted Matt Elam.
Yeah.
He turned out to be a bust.
He was a bust.
Justin Rogers is such an interesting case because Tennessee is one of the only schools, if not the only school, recruiting him to play defensive tackle, which apparently Justin Rogers wants to play defensive line at the next level, and that has really helped Tennessee's recruitment of him, the fact that Tennessee is recruiting him as a defensive tackle. So you mentioned it. He visited Kentucky, I believe, over the weekend and has since received several crystal ball predictions for Kentucky. Kentucky leads the way. Tennessee is second. I think Kentucky, off the top of my head, Kentucky has 33%. Tennessee has 27%. And then Ohio State has 17%, and he's not even – Ohio State isn't even listed in his top 5. His top 5 consists of Michigan, LSU, Georgia, Tennessee, and Kentucky. So it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. I'll say this. Wherever he commits on – I believe he's committing May 20th. It is May 20th, 4 p.m. at his high school, Oak Park High School in Michigan. Wherever he commits, the recruitment is not going to be over. This is going to go on all the way to signing day.
You want good news or bad news?
Bad news.
The bad news is that this question from Vaughn Birmingham that says, I don't know if you talked about it, but with Tate Ratledge and Justin Rogers announcing commitment dates, do you think we get one, both, or neither?
I think we get neither.
Neither is the answer now.
Yeah.
You want the good news? The good news is I had an answer. That's the good news. The good news is I have an answer. The bad news is a bad answer for it's bad news.
Well, I think the fact that Tennessee will probably miss on Justin Rogers also signals that his commitment isn't going to be over, or his recruitment isn't going to be over when he announces his commitment. Because 2-3 weeks ago, he was coming to Tennessee, or at least Tennessee was the favorite after his visit to Tennessee.
You know, y'all know me as someone that is I'm pretty level-headed. I don't fly off the handle and just say whatever that comes to mind. You know, I usually think things out and weigh both sides of it. But if Tennessee loses out on a prospect like Justin Rogers that they want, and he goes to Kentucky, how do y'all think I'm supposed to feel? What am I supposed to say? Huh? What am I supposed to do, Ben?
He was overrated. He was never good enough to play at a place like Tennessee. He's out of shape. Isn't committed to the weight room.
I got to trash the kid.
Terrible character.
I got to trash the kid.
Yes. God. Anybody who wants to be associated with Matt Jones does not deserve to play football at Tennessee.
It's between Kentucky and Georgia. That's what I'm hearing.
Interesting.
For Justin Rogers. And then for Tate Ratledge, you said it's between Tennessee and Georgia. Let's go to the phones.
Well, we are talking about recruiting, so guess who called in?
Andy.
Andy is on the BJI Waterproofing Hotline.
Andy, you okay over there?
Yeah, you know it.
That's good, man. That's good. What's on your mind this morning?
Yeah, we got a real rough road ahead. I mean, cause Tate Rutledge, to me, that's like a 50-50.
No, I don't know if it's 50-50. It might be a little bit more lopsided than that in the direction of Georgia.
Because, I mean, we're going ahead of Sam Pittman.
Tate Rutledge.
And, you know, he's also from Georgia itself, so, but I don't know. Justin Rogers, I got a real good feeling on.
No.
More than I do Rutledge.
Ratledge.
But I don't know. Whatever happens, happens. We can't lose sleep over it. Pruitt to get something figured out. Pruitt to go find someone else. You know? And plus, like you said, there's a long time to go till National Signing Day. So anything can happen. And I'm hearing that Florida is having some issues. That's great. That makes me smile.
What kind of issues are they having, Andy? Where'd you hear that
from? Supposedly there's a lot of transfers going to happen, including Chris Steele. Also hearing possibly something about problems with Dan Mullen. I'm like, this makes me smile. But I don't know. They ain't really said yet.
I'm looking forward to some Florida problems, but man, we need to
shoot ya.
We need to recruit some players, man. We gotta get some guys coming to Tennessee, not Kentucky.
Yep. You know, out of everything you're talking about Kentucky, Richard Leonard, I think, is all ball. Honestly. I don't think he'll go back to Kentucky. I really don't. Now, he loves Tennessee. He really liked that visit at the Orange and White game. He actually loved it. Now, that's just the way I feel about it.
I mean, he's
For
an early
one-
enrollee. That's good. You know, I would like to have Tate Ratledge. I would like to have Justin Rogers, but I mean, he's a kid that's from Florida, so you have to out recruit Miami, Florida State, and the University of Florida, and Georgia for Richard Leonard. That's if Georgia even wants him, because he is he's a 3-star player. So who knows? Ooh. Andy?
I don't know.
Apparently, with Florida, several players are rumored to be transferring, including 4-star defensive back Chris Steele, because they got into some trouble, similar to the whole credit card situation last offseason. Wasn't that last offseason, or was that the offseason before? That was the Dan Mullen problem, wasn't it? Or was that Baby Shark?
That was Baby Shark.
That was Baby Shark.
Because Callaway was involved in that.
That's right. But apparently there's a situation similar to that, and players are going to be transferring, including, as Andy mentioned, Chris Steele, who is a 4-star defensive back in last year's class, I believe. But nothing official. That's all Twitter rumors. But I guess everything on Twitter is right, though.
But y'all have a wonderful day, and just ready to see how things go. Also, Savion's supposed to be coming home real soon. I'm really excited about that. The quarterback nightmare. All I got to say is SEC better be hiding him quarterbacks, because he's coming. And when he gets to Knoxville, I know he's all about work. And it's about to be major chaos this year when he gets foot on the field.
Are you writing checks for Savion?
Am I what?
Are you writing checks for Savion?
Nah.
Yeah, yes. You talking trash to the rest of the SEC on Savion's behalf. That means you are writing checks for Savion that he's gonna have to cash.
All I know is I know how the man's work ethic is. I've talked to Savion a lot. He is a major workhorse. He's fuel to the fire every day. It's go, no stop. The kid is absolutely just phenomenal. When you talk to him, he wants to win the Natty this year. When he talks, he's like, I'm just ready. And ever since he's committed, he has worked his hind end off. I mean, he's just an incredible kid. And I think he has a really, really bright future, because I know how hard he's worked, and he's ready to just go even more.
He's a quarterback nightmare.
I mean, he didn't get that name for a reason.
That's right.
So, I'm really, really excited to see what this kid's future brings. But, guess what? The only time will tell.
That's right, Andy. Thanks, man.
All right, brother. Y'all have a great day.
I don't know what to say right now. It doesn't matter what happens as far as a player committing. We understand that it's about the signing day. It's about that signature. But how am I supposed to feel if Justin Rogers picks Kentucky over Tennessee? John Kelly! Where you at, John Kelly?
Come get ya, boy.
Where's John Kelly when you need him?
Probably too busy skateboarding.
This is your boy, John Kelly. He's from your high school, John Kelly. Where are you, man? Hook him up with some free LA Rams gear. Where are you, man? Ugh. We can't be losing to Kentucky for recruits. Oh, man. Swain event. Be right back.
You're driving home, flashing blue lights in your rearview mirror. The next thing you know, you're being arrested for DUI. Be responsible, but remember, just because you're arrested doesn't mean you're guilty. Call DUI and criminal defense attorney Marcos Garza. Put this number in your phone right now, 865-540-8300, because you never know when you or a friend will need it. Don't say guilty, say Garza. 865-540-8300 and GarzaLaw.com.
Thinking about trying CBD oil but not sure where to get it or who to trust for a quality supplement? Our friends at Tennessee Valley Hemp Company invite you to try their full spectrum hemp extract, available in 500 milligram and 1,000 milligram strengths. They are a local company based right here in Knoxville whose crops are grown in East Tennessee. Their farmers are committed to cultivating pharmaceutical grade hemp oil that produces results. It is only available in community pharmacies where you can get questions answered by experienced professionals. If you are unsure whether or not it's okay to take hemp extract with your existing medications, pharmacists are happy to perform interaction checks that keep you safe and healthy. You can find out more by visiting or calling any of these local drugstores. Gordon's Drugstore in Carnes, Vaughn's Drugstore in Powell, Stanford Drugs in New Tazewell, or Farragut Pharmacy in Farragut. Check them out on Facebook at Tennessee Valley Hemp Company, and don't forget to hit the like button. When you buy, remember to ask for the only hemp oil that supports your health and the Power T. Tennessee Valley Hemp Company. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
JC's Tree and Landscaping Service specializes in quality tree work done at an affordable price. Trimming and removing trees are their specialty. They also offer other services like land clearing, stump grinding, crane services, and all of your basic landscaping needs for both commercial and residential. JC's will give you a free estimate and beat any written quote by a competitor to guarantee that you get the lowest price around. Don't risk your land with a fly-by-night service. JC's Tree and Landscaping is licensed and insured. Give them a call at 865-599-3799. Guys, have you noticed lack of energy, motivation, and drive? It could be low T or something else like sleep apnea or even low thyroid. It starts with a quick and easy health assessment to better understand your health. And now they treat more than just low T, including sleep apnea, low thyroid, and more. It is covered by most health insurance. So if you've been feeling grumpy, tired, have you noticed a weight gain or loss of muscle, call 865-392-1388 or go to lowtcenter.com. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
Craving flavors that don't take hours in the kitchen? Mrs. Grissom's cheese spreads and chicken salads are the perfect go-to. Ready-to-eat meals and snacks found in the meat or dairy section at your local grocery store. Whether you crave the classic Mrs. Grissom's pimento cheese or the gluten-free select varieties like the cranberry pecan chicken salad, enjoy small-town flavor in every bite. Select the best. Select Mrs. Grissom's.
You don't have to take an L just because you can't listen to the Swain event live. You can catch up on the podcast posted daily on the app, online, and on iTunes.
Did I just crush Andy's spirits? Y'all giving me crap on the text box.
I don't think you did because...
Tizzy Pride, 85. Says Andy's not trying to hear your negative recruiting update, Swain.
He really wasn't, which is why I don't think you crushed his spirits.
Andy was in denial.
You pretty much flat out said that Justin Rogers and Tate Ratledge was not coming. And Andy was like, well, I feel good about Tennessee's chances.
with the dude who's like rated the 900th player in the country. I'm not saying recruiting rankings are
the end all be all.
But it's not a good look. That's all I'm saying.
And look, Matt Jones was already hosting Feinbaum yesterday.
He was?
Unfortunately, which I'm actually stunned and shocked that we did not see the Feinbaum Twitter account tweet out a quote from Matt Jones talking smack about Tennessee.
Matt Jones, man, why you didn't call me to be on the Paul Feinbaum show?
Because he can just call into your radio show and talk over you then. If he wanted to do that.
Yes, that's right.
Gosh, that still irritates me.
It bothers you more than it bothers me. I thought it was funny.
I mean, it was, and he showed his character. Not that we didn't already know his character before, but
I don't know if he has good or bad character. All I know is he showed that he didn't have the best argument because he had to talk over me. When you can just ask questions and fall back and let the other person try to explain their points, that's when you have them.
maybe character was too strong of a phrasing to use, but he showed that he is a butthole, in my opinion.
Yeah, he is a butthead, but he's funny, and I still like him. Who got on the phone?
Matt Jones' twin, Volstorm.
Oh, he got you with that one.
Oh, this sense of humor. Oh,
He finally came with the fire. He got you back, man. He got you on that one.
Well, that's his once a month, so these things happen.
Once a month, interesting.
What I want to start with is that maybe Andy needs to get his own recruiting segment sponsored by Comcast. They both have a level of consistency and accuracy that is unmatched.
Leave Andy alone, man. He loves recruiting, and he just he was in denial today, man. We might not get Justin Rogers or Tate Ratledge because those guys have been on campus, and Justin Rogers was just here. How are you just here, and then you go to Kentucky, and then now you ready to announce and shut things down? I mean, golly, what did Kentucky do?
Well, and if we're being honest, Volstorm, I would rather listen to Andy talk about Tennessee football and his optimism rather than talk to you negavols like Ken on the text box and you on the phone.
Ben bringing a fire this morning. You hear that, Ken?
Ben must have ate his Wheaties this morning.
I know the man. Hey, man, Ben was listening to Rocky music, looking in the mirror, getting ready for you.
Y'all should have seen me at the gym last night. I was looking in the mirror. I was boxing the mirror.
I'm just glad that Ben's finally contributing to the show.
Me too. No drama on this side.
Wayne, what is Pruitt's recruiting philosophy?
Get dudes that can help you win a championship.
Well, it just seems that he thinks he's still at Alabama.
How so?
Well, when you're at Alabama, you can kind of, pick and choose who you want. You can kind of, turn your nose up at certain things. And he needs to realize we ain't Bama. We're not even close. How much effort is he actually putting into the fact that, a lot of these five-star guys you're going after, you might not get, so you might need a backup plan.
But couldn't you say if he did that last recruiting cycle, maybe you miss on Wanye Morris and Darnell Wright and To'o and Crouch?
No, I don't get me wrong. He's picked up some good guys, but it's like how much, you hear all the time about how he's not putting much effort into the state of Tennessee. How true is that?
That's not true. Yeah, that's not true. He didn't put a lot into Middle Tennessee last year because he didn't.
I understand that.
But Memphis he did, and this year there's more players in the state, so he's putting more effort. He's putting effort in recruiting. I think questioning Pruitt's effort in recruiting is inaccurate. He is fighting a battle that he's never had to really fight before, being the head coach of Tennessee. At Florida State, at Georgia, at Alabama, he was pretty much able to get who he wanted to get. But here, he can't go on the road. And what he's selling is less than what he had to sell in his last 3 stops. Like it or not, it's just the truth. And so he has to, like yesterday or the day before yesterday, we had Austin Price on. So Tennessee wanted guys to come to camp before they offered him because that's really the right thing you're supposed to do. But it hurt Tennessee in getting Zion Logue. It's going to hurt Tennessee to get other players if you wait until players come here on their own dime to earn a scholarship when other schools are offering kids without going to camp.
It really hurt Tennessee with the linebacker that went to A&M, with Chris Russell.
Yeah. So you want to do things a certain way, but you can't because the competition who is better than you is offering kids without going to camp. And it's not committable, but the kids don't care because all they care about is being able to tweet, yo, blessed to say I got my 23rd offer, and then tweet some pictures of LSU from like Jamarcus Russell days. I mean, that's what the kids want to do. They want to be able to tweet it. So now Tennessee has to basically, I won't say lie, but they got to just offer you, hey, we're going to offer you. But it's not committable. So you give the kid what they want, which is the offer, so they can tweet it out and tweet out some old pictures of Al Wilson and Leonard Little and Peyton Manning and maybe Gerard Mayo, Eric Berry, Alvin Kamara with the gold teeth. All they want to do is be able to tweet that out. And so you got to play the game that everyone else is playing, even though that game I think is terrible. It really muddies the water in recruiting.
Well, I think it's some of those kids' cases, you know, they know they're not really going to be able to get into a top school. So at least if they have the offer on their resume, then it'll help them get into a better school than, you know, if they hadn't had the offer on the table, whether it's committable or not.
Well, guys like Butch Jones and Bob Weldon would see an offer list that would include Georgia, Florida, Alabama, others, and those offers may not be committable, but they would go, oh, well, if they offer them, well, then we need to offer them too. Or they would look at the star ranking and go, oh, well, we need to offer them too. We need to get them too, because that's what other schools are doing.
Well, and if this staff doesn't go after the Crouches and the To'os and the Darnell Wrights and the Wanye Morrises, how is Tennessee going to beat Alabama? I mean, those are the type of guys that you have to beat Alabama.
You got to develop them. And then you have to, you got to inspire them. Listen, Clemson wasn't out recruiting Alabama. They just started out recruiting people this year. This is the only year Clemson has out recruited everyone, and it's not even over yet. The recruiting cycle is not over. It's still signing day here in February. This is the only year Clemson has been number one. Every other year, it's been Georgia, it's been Ohio State, it's been Alabama. So you don't have to be number one. You don't have to out recruit them as far as recruiting rankings, but you better come close. Better be able to compete.
Are we also realizing how far Tennessee has fallen with maybe how difficult it has been to recruit the last 2 years?
Absolutely.
Because realistically, why would a 4 or 5 star elite player want to come to Tennessee right now?
Because they want to play, and they want,
aside from that,
they want to play and they want the challenge of not just joining a champion, but being a part of something special and building a relationship with a coach. I mean, there's other reasons why that you can pull a player away from another school, but it's not going to be overnight.
Absolutely, and those are good reasons, but most elite football talents coming out of high school want to go to the school that is the quickest path to getting them drafted. And what evidence does Tennessee have to point to right now?
None. I mean, we didn't even have any draft picks this year.
But that's hard to put that on.
I'm not putting that on Pruitt.
Yeah,
I'm just putting it on the program as a whole.
I think you can still get good players. You may not be able to get all of them, but you can still sell the NFL and your experience as a coaching staff, and you can still get good players to come here to Tennessee. Like, you still should be able to get good players. And they did it the past recruiting class. Let's not act like the Tennessee just bombed out. They didn't bomb out. So they got good players. They're going to have to win more on the field.
Tennessee got good players, especially when you consider what Tennessee football has done the past 2 years on the football field.
Yeah, they got to win more on the field, man. That's what they got to do.
Exactly. All right, boys. Well, thanks. Brewster's Ice Cream. See you, boys.
Oh, man. Volstorm, Ben messed you up, man. He messed you up. Is Volstorm still there?
Volstorm is still here. Volstorm,
You still there?
I guess he hung up. Why? But if he hung up, why does it say he's still on the line?
He might have. I don't know, man. Ben,
Well, considering he
you just threw out 2 haymakers. You had him stumbling, and you didn't let him finish his comment because you were afraid that he was gonna bring that fire back to you. Oh boy, Ben. Who we got next?
We've got Evan and then DR Vol, which DR Vol has a great comment on the text box. DR Vol says, "We are the hot chick at school who has an acne problem. We got to get it cleared up."
That's true. That's true. Let's get to Evan. Evan, good morning.
Hey, good morning, fellas.
What's up, man?
So I was, sort of okay with the news, last week or so about the Big Orange Caravan stuff. I didn't really care. But now I'm wondering if we don't need the Big Orange Caravan with the coaches out there so we can remind some of these recruits that UT actually exists. With the way some of these recruiting teams seem to be trending here, it's a little concerning for me. And just to kind of counterpoint a little bit, like I like the mentality that if you want to beat Alabama, you got to go get those guys. But I almost feel like can we just get to a level where we're beating Vanderbilt and Missouri every year first, even if that means we're not I don't know. I worry that we're shooting so far for the stars that we're missing other talent out there that we're just not giving enough love to or attention to, that then we're sort of falling back on guys on signing day, like random wide receivers from Georgia that no one's heard of till the day of, and then we all act like we're excited, and that's undiscovered talent. I just wonder if, I don't know, the mentality of how recruiting is going seems like if we don't score these big guys, which we did do last year, like you just said, but there's a lot of guys we missed out on that I don't think we should have missed out on. But I don't know. Maybe I'm being overcritical.
No, I get what you're saying. If you put all your eggs in the tier 1 basket and you have no chance to get those guys, and you totally overlook the tier 2 guys, and then the tier 2 guys go to Texas A&M or other places, now you're stuck with tier 3 guys. And now you're struggling to compete against Missouri and Vanderbilt. I think you got to focus on the tier 1 and tier 2 guys, so that way you can get some of those tier 2 players. You're going to beat Vanderbilt. You're going to beat Kentucky. You should beat Missouri with those tier 2 guys, because Missouri and those programs, they're tier 3 and maybe occasionally some tier 2 players here and there. I get what you're saying. That bit us in the butt in Pruitt's first recruiting class. They were trying to go out, put a lot of energy in players that other schools had built a longer relationship with, had more ground covered with, and it was an uphill battle. You were more successful in that area, getting Darnell Wright, Wanya Moores, Henry To'o, Kavaris Couch, and others. It is May, and it looks like you're going to miss out on Justin Rogers. Looks like you're going to miss out on Tate Ratledge. But it is May. We got plenty of time to kind of jump back into the driver's seat with some of these players. But I understand what you're saying. I totally get it. I think it depends on those conversations. Is the line of communication still open? Are we still going to be able to talk to Justin Rogers? Is he still going to allow himself to be recruited? Because if he allows himself to be recruited, then you still have a chance. If he shuts it down and he takes no more phone calls, he's not going to visit any more schools, then yeah, that stinks. We have to recruit those tier 2 players and not neglect them. We can't just only recruit the players that only Alabama, Ohio State, and Georgia are recruiting. We got to recruit the other players too.
You're absolutely right. And my fear is, and what you said is absolutely true. Like, we've got to get more wins on the field. You just have to. And my concern or my worry, and I'm just a worrying person, especially when it comes to UC football. And I don't know how anyone is at this point, but it's like, for me, if you look at the schedule the next couple of years, like this season, like this is the season. Like, if you don't do it here, like you're not going to do it next year. Next year's schedule is horrible. And if this year you're not producing those wins somewhere, next season is going to be tough. And if you don't do it there either, like, it's not, I'm not saying like, oh, that's Pruitt's last chance, but we're just not making any momentum forward. We're showing proof that, hey, you're going to get developed here. Like, there's talent. Like, just come in, trust the process. Like, That's my fear, that it's kind of this year or bust in terms of showing progress on the field. I don't know. What do you think about that?
The schedule definitely easier this year than last year and the year after. Tennessee should have 5 or 6 players drafted, and I think that's going to open up a lot of opportunities for Tennessee to sell early playing time. And I'll be honest, I'm tired of always having to just sell early playing time. I want to sell winning. I want to sell going to the league too. I don't want to always sell early playing time. So this is a perfect opportunity to go and win 7 or 8 games, possibly win 9, really turn some heads. The way Dan Mullen was able to kind of get people's attention his first year in Florida, where he overachieved according to the preseason rankings. I think Tennessee needs to do the same thing so that we can create some momentum. That's what it's about. It's about momentum. That's one thing that Lau created after that 14 Tax Slayer Bowl win was some momentum. He created momentum. Pruitt needs to create that same momentum by winning this season, getting to a bowl game, putting another good recruiting class together, and going from there. But got to get to a bowl game this year. I think to do that, you got to win. You can only sell playing time so much.
Yep. All right, fellas.
Thanks,
I'll
Evan.
get out of here. Y'all have a good one.
Thanks, Evan. We'll get to our next caller after the break because we only have like 30 seconds before we got to run. So I don't want to cut our caller off.
I want to say it reminds me of Tennessee basketball in the sense of when Rick Barnes got the job, everybody was killing Rick Barnes because he was not recruiting at the level that he was at Texas. He wasn't going out and getting that 5-star, that big-time 4-star prospect. What high-level recruit would want to come to Tennessee and play basketball at Tennessee for a program that Barnes was the third coach in 3 years, had not – they had the Sweet 16 run, but outside of the Sweet 16 run on the console, had not had a ton of success since Bruce Pearl. You have to establish a winning culture before you are able to go out and get the high-level recruits, whether it be a 4 or 5-star. And Rick Barnes was able to do that, and now look at him. He just signed a 5-star in Josiah James, and he has a 5-star committed in next year's class and has positioned himself to land 2 or 3 5-stars if everything breaks right.
That's why I say, Ben, it's harder. That's why I believe it's harder to win a championship in football than in basketball. It's hard to get through the Final Four. I mean, through March Madness, you saw how Virginia had multiple nail biters. Got lucky on some calls. But one good recruiting class, man, you can have a magical season in basketball. One player can change your program. In football, man, you need like 3 consecutive recruiting classes. And then you got to coach them up, and then you got to develop them, and then you got to stay healthy. And then you have to have good scheduling. There's so much you have to do to try to win in football. It's a lot harder in football than in basketball to me. Swain Event, be right back.
For what is coming up on the Swain Event.
There's a 30% chance of rain today, partly sunny with a high of 83 and a low of 65. The chance of showers increases to 50% tomorrow, mostly cloudy with a high near 81 and a low around 62. Rain likely on Saturday with a high in the mid-70s. Weather on the Swain Event is brought to you by Be Dry. If your basement is wet or cracked, Be Dry can help. BeDry.com.
Hour 3 of the Swain Event is brought to you by the Low T Center and LowTCenter.com. Do you know your numbers? Feel like you again. Let us help.
In debt? In too deep? Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union says, stop treading water and get out of the deep end. If you've got debt, make a splash and come get some cash. If Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union can refinance your car, boat, camper, motorcycle, credit cards, personal or home loan, they'll pay you up to $500. So come take the plunge right now. Refinance your loans. Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union will pay you. 5 convenient locations. Visit atfcu.com. Equal housing lender.
You're listening to the Swain event, fueled by Dead End Barbecue. Check them out online at deadendbbq.com.
Hour 3, powered by Low T Center, lowtcenter.com, Swain event. Fueled by Dead End Barbecue. Having a little recruiting talk here on the program. Let's go to the phones and let's bring in our good friend. I just had a brain fart. Hold on. Don't tell me. DR Vol. There it is. DR Vol, good morning.
Guys, I just had to call in and let you know I'm a hypocrite. You know, my comment about Ben and the Grizzlies in May, I'm triggered by the recruiting. When you said that about Kentucky and Justin Rogers, that just ticks me off, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, it's one player. It's not like he's from Tennessee, but yeah, I mean, you wouldn't have a pulse if you didn't feel a certain type of way about it. You wasn't bothered about it. I'm not going to burn any couches or say that we stink in recruiting. I think we have an awesome recruiting staff, but you just expect to get those guys. You expect to get a player that's from the same school as John Kelly, and you don't expect him to go to Kentucky over you. That's all.
Yeah, and Ben had a good point, you know, bringing up Crouch. And, I mean, we did get some good guys last year, Crouch and Gray and Wanye and all them, but golly, Bill, we cannot lose out to Kentucky like that. And I know you said the 10-win season with Kentucky, but, you know, when you said that, I'm just like a Shannon Sharp shaking my head no, because I don't care. They're always Kentucky to me.
Yeah, I mean, I said the 10-win season because, you know, even if you do anything illegal, you can always point to 10 wins. You know, you can point, hey, you know, we won 10 wins. I mean, we had 10 wins. We won 10 games. Hey, we have that to point to. I mean, with Ole Miss, it was like, hey, y'all getting 5 players and they're all at the top of their position, and it looks suspicious.
And they hadn't beaten Alabama to that point.
Yeah, so like it just, even with Justin Rogers going to Kentucky, yeah, you're gonna raise your eyebrow, but they won 10 games. It's more believable than if Kentucky did not win those 10 games.
Yeah, it's definitely more believable. I was getting cracked up, though, with Andy. He kind of tighten-filled you with no matter what you said, he was going to stay the optimist and stay off topic.
Yeah, hey, much love to Andy, man, but it looks like we're going to take some L's on these 2 commitments.
Yep, looks like it. Well, hopefully we can get some wins because, you know, well, I guess Evan was before me. I agree with everything he said. We got to go now. We got to win now. Otherwise, it's going to be like Colorado.
Got to win, man. I mean, you can only sell playing time so much. You got to put the product on the field, and that's what Crevard's Couch needed to see to pick Tennessee. Is he needed to see some improvement. I'm surprised that you know, we were able to get him because we didn't go to a bowl game. But if you want to get the next Crevard's Couch, you better start winning a little bit more.
I agree. Well, guys, I'm going to hang up and listen. I just had to come vent and let y'all know I was a hypocrite.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, man. Sometimes it happens. Especially when it comes to being a sports fan. It happens. It does. Let's go next to Jay. Jay, good morning.
Swain, good morning, buddy.
How you doing, man?
Well, you know, it's funny, Swain. I don't really when I listen to your show, I listen to it really on the podcast. I don't get to listen during live time. I just call in, and so y'all are talking about the very subject I was wanting to talk about. But so I don't really want to beat a dead horse. But it's just, Swain, for me, it's disappointing. You know, we're supposed to have this elite recruiting staff, and you got 3 kids that it looked like last month. 2 of them, at least, maybe you're sitting in the catbird seat for, and the other one, you got to, it seems like you're neck and neck with Georgia. And then now I'm hearing, one just went to LSU, Rakeem Jarrett. We're going to lose a 5-star to Kentucky football, and people seem to believe that Georgia has a slight lead for Tate Ratledge, and it's just, to me, that was going to be the foundation of the class besides the in-state guys. And that's tough to lose them because, as you know, Swain, those don't just grow on trees, those kind of players. You don't just go out and replace a Rakeem Jarrett, I don't think. Or, that's 2 5-stars and a highly rated 4-star, and from what I hear, Tate may be the best one of them all. And it's just disappointing. And you would think that with Jeremy Pruitt and T. Martin and Niedermeyer and all these guys that are supposed to be such elite recruiters, you would just – maybe that's just fans just getting their hopes up a little bit. I don't know. But you mentioned the 10-win season, Swain, that Kentucky has. This is my issue. Perception is reality sometimes. And the perception is that Kentucky is on the rise and they're going to be a 10-win kind of program now. But knowing that if they had to do our schedule, they wouldn't have 10 wins. And this is why I want to see our schedule change. I want to stop playing Alabama. I know you like playing Alabama, but let's be real. Our real rival is Florida. That's what a vast majority of today's fan base, that's our biggest rival. And number 2, if we're not going to stop this, then we need to stop scheduling games like Oklahoma. Our schedule is brutal enough as it is. We're trying to get up off the mat. We're trying to be a program that we can sell, hey, you can come win 10 games plus a year here. But our schedule, the way it's scheduled with it all bunched up together where we got to play our 5 hardest games back to back to back. Nobody else has to do that really either. Swain, this makes it really difficult to get our program up and going again. Would you not agree, or do you disagree?
I understand Alabama being that one opponent on our schedule that other teams they don't have to face in the East. Like we have that one permanent West opponent that's the worst to have right now. Florida plays LSU. That's like the second worst. But we have the first worst West permanent opponent on our schedule, and that's Alabama because they're a dynasty. I don't want to take them off. Number 1, because it's tradition playing them, but number 2, even if it wasn't about that, is Alabama stopping us from getting to Atlanta?
Well, doesn't it count the same, Swain?
No, but if we don't get, is Alabama stopping us from winning a national championship right now or winning a championship?
No. We can't even beat Georgia, or we can't even beat Vanderbilt.
Exactly. So that's like if we played Alabama 3 years in a row and they beat us 2 times, because that's what happened, right? We even if we beat them in the regular season, we'll play them again in the championship game in Atlanta, and then if we lose to them, then we may or may not, depending on the rest of the record, make it to the college football playoff. I just think right now in 2019, Alabama is the least of our worries. We got to beat Vanderbilt. We got to beat Missouri. We got to beat Kentucky.
Florida.
You got to beat Florida. You got to beat Georgia. You got to beat those programs. South Carolina. You haven't beat South Carolina consistently. I just think until Alabama is until they are the reason why we can't win a championship, I just think worrying about Alabama right now is just a waste of time. That's just me.
Well, Swain, it's not worrying about Alabama. It's that Tennessee's road is much tougher. I saw where Football Scoop said that in 2000 whatever, Georgia has to play Texas, Alabama, Florida, and Auburn. And they were like, is that smart on Kirby Smart? That's the crazy schedule. I'm like, we do that every single year. Tennessee does that every year. Next year we play
Oklahoma, I mean, like we're making this much harder. That's why I want to see a 9-game schedule. And then when we get to draw LSU or Auburn on top of what we already play on a non-conference game, on top of playing Alabama, Florida, and Georgia, like we are making it ridiculously hard on ourselves to get those 10-win seasons like Kentucky is now when we're trying to rebuild our program. That's why I want to see a 9-game rotating schedule so it evens out, because right now the University of Tennessee, it's not just about Alabama. We are at a disadvantage, and in turn I believe that hurts recruiting because you're only getting, I mean, when you cycle up, you're getting 8 or 9 wins, but that's not getting those 10-win kind of seasons. I just think we're at a disadvantage right now. I mean, our schedule, and especially when it falls on the right year, is ridiculously hard. I mean, almost every year.
Yeah, but that's
I think it hurts us.
Yeah, I mean, it's always been hard though. Even when I played, the schedule's always been
Yeah,
hard.
but Alabama wasn't Alabama when you played, Swain.
Yeah, but the schedule,
they were good, but they weren't Alabama.
I understand that, but the schedule's always hard because we play in the hardest conference in America. So it's always going to be hard. I don't think that's going to change at all unless you really play a weak out of conference schedule. And this year's honestly is pretty weak. I mean, I don't think it's that tough at all. BYU,
but the schedule as a whole is still difficult this year.
Out of conference. I said out of conference schedule. BYU.
Well,
I mean, so your out of conference schedule is weak. So you should be able to clean up house there. Your in conference schedule is always going to be tough. It's part of playing in the SEC. It's what you sell to recruits, and no one's complaining when you get that big old paycheck each and every year by being in the conference. You get paid a lot of money just being in the conference that you use for whatever you use inside your football program or outside your football program. You get a big check for the conference. We got to beat, and this is going back to my original point, I think right now, Jay, our focus should be on getting to Atlanta, and let's wait and see if Alabama is really like causing us to be like LSU. Because LSU is the school that can say, man, dude, if it weren't for Alabama, we would be winning a whole lot more. Like, we would be winning championships. But Alabama is the reason why LSU hasn't been to Atlanta. They're the only reason. And recruiting.
That's a fair point.
Yeah, like we gotta beat the other teams, man. We haven't been to Atlanta in since 2008. It's been 11 years. Let's lose to Bama like Georgia lost to Bama in the SEC championship game a couple times before I think we start talking about, oh man, if it wasn't for Bama, dude, we would have reached our goals. Man, Vanderbilt's keeping us from our goals right now.
Well, and over the last 20 years,
I mean, it's true.
Over the last 20 years, Florida has given Tennessee more problems than Alabama.
God, what has happened to us?
Tennessee has had more success against Alabama over the last 20 years than Florida.
That's that's probably true, Dan. Yeah. I don't know, guys. Maybe I can call up Dabo. We can switch schedules for the next 5 years or something. I don't know.
That would be great. Dabo's busy right now, man.
Well, they just booked Oklahoma too.
Yeah, but Dabo's busy though, man. He was in Milwaukee hanging out with the Brewers. He was at the Toronto Raptors playoff game hanging out with Drake. That might be our only hope, man. That Drake somehow casts a curse.
Well, you don't have to be in the office when you're rolling out a bunch of 5-stars playing Duke and Wake Forest every game. I mean, my God, you can sleepwalk through that. So he can go live the good life.
That's true, Jay.
Yeah.
Hey,
See y'all, man.
Thanks. Yeah. Let's go beat South Carolina, Vanderbilt, Kentucky, Vanderbilt. Let's get to Atlanta.
Let's get to a bowl game.
Let's get to Atlanta and bump our heads against Alabama several times before we start talking about, man, God, Alabama's in our way of achieving our goals. But everyone is in our way right now of achieving our goals. We had 7 teams in our way last year.
Yeah, well,
7.
And the schedule is always going to look extremely hard when the football team isn't that good, in my opinion.
Well, the schedule is always going to be hard because you play in the SEC. The only team that doesn't have a hard schedule is Alabama. It appears like Alabama doesn't have a hard schedule because they've been dominant. But Georgia has to play Auburn every single year. That's not easy for them. Florida has to play LSU every single year. We just have the hardest West non-rotating opponent, and that's Alabama. All right, let's go back to the phone.
Let's get to TC and then Turkey Man and then Titans Bill.
TC, my man. Good morning.
What's up? I'm still here.
I worried about you, man. I was thinking about you the other day. I was wondering if you jumped off Twitter. You had went out and bought you a motorcycle, had a midlife crisis. I didn't know what happened to you, TC.
I know, man.
I thought you started
Life's been a little crazy, man. When you got 2 teenage daughters, man, life gets a little crazy.
You a businessman, TC, so I didn't know if you started a motorcycle Ubering company to where
we got a few things going.
Yeah,
you got a few things going.
You pick your clients up on the Harley, and they ride in the back.
That's right, man. Hey, man, I really appreciated Jay's call there. It's tough, man. I've heard that same argument about maybe dropping Alabama, and Jay made a point that our real rival now is Florida, and honestly, you got to beat somebody to be a rival.
Yep.
And right now, I don't know I don't think we have a rival at this point.
It's Missouri, Vanderbilt, Kentucky, and Vanderbilt.
We ain't beat Missouri. We ain't beat Vanderbilt.
Hey, Missouri better be a rival. Hold on.
Dude, we beat Missouri twice
since
they've been in the conference.
I understand that. Missouri better be a rival after Drew Lock running his mouth, after Derek Dooley ran up the score purposely, and after Barry Odom called out Jeremy Pruitt for trying to recruit his players. They better be a rival.
Trust me, I want these teams to be rivals again. I want to beat them. Probably the closest thing is Georgia. We've actually beaten Georgia some, or at least played them down to the wire in several games of the past decade. But other than that, I mean, guys, we got to start beating people if we want to call somebody a rival.
Yeah.
I mean, we've lost I can't. It's so hard to even fathom, because when I grew up, man, literally you just did not lose to Vanderbilt or lose to Kentucky, which we've at least maintained. We pretty much don't lose to Kentucky. But, dude, we've lost to Vandy 5 out of 7. That's hard for me to even wrap my brain around. We have I don't think I'm seeing fans on Twitter that are expecting 9 and 10 win season this year. Dude, we've won 9 games in 2 years. We've won 2 SEC games in 2 years. Jarrett Garantano, as a starting quarterback, has won 2 SEC games. Oklahoma in the past 2 years has 2 Heisman Trophy winning quarterbacks. I mean, let's look at the difference in our quarterback play as some other programs.
And 2 number 1 overall picks.
Yeah. Guys, we are so far from where we have to be. People that are expecting a 9 or 10 win season, I'm telling you, folks, wake up. You're in for a disappointing year if that's your expectation. And I hate to be the one to say it, but I mean, guys, if we get to a bowl game, that's a pretty good year this year. 7, if we get to 7, that's a great year. 8 wins is outstanding, and 9, wake up.
I think this team should be able to get to 8. I think they should be able to get to 8
in the regular season, or with a bowl win.
With a bowl win.
With a bowl win, man.
Yeah,
Okay.
with a bowl win.
I don't see 8 wins in the regular
I'll
season.
go with you on that.
Yeah, with a bowl win, they should be able to get to 8 because they're gonna pair us up against Purple Vandy.
Yeah, I'll go 8 with a bowl.
They should be able to.
We can do that.
They should be able to.
Yeah, I'm just saying, man. There's a lot that's got to happen, man.
I know. There's
So,
a lot that has to happen.
I feel like I'm Debbie Downer today, but man, that's where we are.
I mean, hey, when you talk about recruiting and you try to break down why you're not in a better position for a kid like Justin Rogers and Tate Ratledge, then you got to start talking about the wins. And then when you start talking about the wins, you think about the games that we should have won and where other programs are and where we are. And then you start getting depressed. It's kind of what happens. But Summer Smokey is here, TC in Athens, and maybe maybe we can get you up here in Tennessee, and you can shake hands with the mascot.
What a ridiculous! I mean, boy, do they just not have any PR people over there that in a room will say, "Guys, what are we doing?" Do they not have one person that'll speak up and say, "What are we thinking?"
Whoever that person was, either they were sick that day, or their throat was sore, or they didn't want to speak up.
I hear you, man. That's crazy. Love you guys. I still listen. Just don't get to call in as much, man. But love you, and talk to you guys later.
Much love, TC. Thanks, man. Thanks for the phone call. Who we got next?
Turkey Man.
Turkey Man. Good morning.
Well, good morning, individuals. I tell you what, Jay kind of took a little bit. He didn't hit on it, but he kind of mentioned what I was going to call in about.
Did you just say that Jay sucked?
No, I did not say Jay sucks.
Swain likes to put words in people's mouth.
No, Turkey Man, you just said that Jay sucks. So I just heard that.
Ben, what did I say?
You said Jay sucked, and then you forgot to say
Jay touched on what I was going to talk about a little bit.
Oh, so you said touched.
Touched.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, you really thought he said sucked?
I thought he said sucked.
Oh.
That'd have been great.
No.
Touched.
All right, but I am halfway triggered this morning after listening to the direction we're going. You know, I realized, I realized, you know, I make fun about them yogi pants. That we are the yogi pants.
Yoga.
Yeah, yogi, whatever. But I mean, they don't lie, and it's you know, it's coming real truthful now, and everybody's saying we can't lie. But what really triggered my gourd here is Kentucky. Kentucky that we beat the dog out of when they had the best team they had. Kentucky can't even run a horse race without interference and causing a problem up there. They can't even do that. They mess up chicken now. In Kentucky, we talk about how great our coaching staff is, which I think we are. I mean, we've got T. Martin, that is National Recruiter of the Year, and T. Martin that was coaching in Kentucky, knows the landscape up there, and give us a fit up there. And then we're letting Kentucky pull a player if we want him, and have those coaches in place and those recruiters in place, and we want to talk about how good we are. Yogi pants don't lie. I'm just here to tell you, we had better step up and start coaching in that direction before we can coach on the field.
So you are comparing Tennessee football to yoga pants?
Well, they don't lie. We can't say, oh, we didn't want him, or we can do this and that. Not no more. I mean, when you look at Vanderbilt owning us, I mean, they do. What is it? If we won this year, we still wouldn't come to 500 last 6 years. Something like that.
It's been
that's
lost,
bad, dude.
Yeah,
that's bad.
We've lost the last 5 out of 7.
Yeah, we got a while to catch up to come 500 ball.
Yeah, we need to win 3 in a row for it to be 500.
Yeah, and then we're talking about this, that, and the other. No, but Kentucky's the one that got my gourd. That's where I got fired up. I got to think about Kentucky.
And
I went to looking at that direction, and now, I mean, we have one of the best recruiters in the country, and he coached there. He knows the landscape.
Turkey Man, it's just one player, man.
I don't give a hoot. I do not give a hoot. If we want him, we should have him. In that respect. Now I'm talking about we got a lot of catch up, and we ain't never beat. I don't reckon we've ever beat Will Muschamp.
No.
I mean, and he has taunted us and everything else. We got a lot of winning to do to catch up there. We got a whole lot of winning. Yogi pants don't lie, dude.
They do not lie.
I'm going to get out of here. Talk to you later.
All right, my friend.
Can we go back to basketball season?
Turkey Man fired up this morning. It's just one player.
Let me ask you this.
One player that may go to Kentucky over Tennessee. That's just one player. One player. It doesn't happen every year. It's one player. You never know what the reason. Maybe Kentucky got him a horse or something.
Well, let me ask you this: is Tennessee 100% convinced that Justin Rogers would be a very good player along the defensive line? Do you know that answer?
I would be surprised if Tennessee all of a sudden didn't want Justin Rogers anymore.
Because I did see
as a football player. I don't know where they want him.
I did see a sentiment from a recruiting analyst that there is some question to how good he would be along the defensive line. There's no doubt to how good he will be on the offensive line, but they're interested to see how his athleticism translates to the defensive line. So I didn't know maybe if that feeling was reciprocated by Tennessee, and he's picking Kentucky. Let's also remember that he is also picking Kentucky, not only just Tennessee, but he's picking Kentucky over Georgia, Michigan, LSU. I forgot the other school. Tennessee.
Ohio State.
No, Ohio State didn't make his top five. Tennessee was the other team I was thinking of.
Okay.
It's Georgia. He's picking Kentucky over Tennessee, Georgia, LSU, and Michigan.
Maybe this says something more about him than us if he's picking Kentucky over Ohio State, Georgia, and LSU.
Yeah,
Tennessee.
I know his crystal ball, for whatever reason, has predictions to Ohio State, but his top five was Michigan, LSU.
I understand
Georgia.
his top five.
But Ohio State was in there.
But he eliminated Ohio State.
At one point.
They want him. So
yes.
if you are eliminating Ohio State, but you're not eliminating Kentucky, and you have Tennessee in there, you got Georgia in there, you have LSU in there, and you're picking Kentucky out of that group.
Maybe you said, it says more about him.
Maybe it ain't us. Maybe it ain't Georgia. Maybe it's not Ohio State. Maybe it's him.
Yeah.
Maybe he just likes horses, man. Maybe he's like the opposite of Eric Berry.
Maybe
he wants a challenge. Maybe it's closer. It ain't closer than Ohio State, I don't think.
Maybe Kentucky bought him a couple of horses.
Let's go with that theory. Let's go with that. 'Cause that's the only reason why a kid with his talent would pick Kentucky over Georgia, Ohio State, Tennessee, and LSU, right?
Michigan just put, 2 defensive linemen in the league? 2 in the first round, I believe.
Yeah.
And he's picking Kentucky? And I get it. Josh Allen, 7th overall pick.
Yeah, but he ain't no Josh Allen.
No.
He don't even play the same position as Josh Allen.
But it's Michigan. Michigan has had a good stretch of defensive linemen here.
Yeah. That don't look right. That don't look right at all. That's weird.
So maybe it's not Tennessee.
Maybe it's him. If he picks Tennessee, I'll take back everything I said, and we love him.
Even if he picks Tennessee, I'm going to be in the boat of let me know what he does on signing day because this kid loves the recruiting process.
Well, I'm like that with every kid.
Yeah.
Unless a kid is like leading the group text with the other commits.
The Harrison Bailey.
And I want a face tattoo of a Power T. Like, let me know it's real.
Instead of a teardrop, it's a Power T?
I want a Power T face tattoo. Then I believe that you're 100% committed. All right, who's next?
Titans-Bill.
Titans-Bill, good morning. Titans-Bill.
How you doing, Jason?
I'm doing great, man. We're just here talking a little recruiting and Tennessee football. I mean, have a good little show this morning.
You know, Jason, what's burning my sausage right now is people like you and several others is just wanting to put the heat on Jeremy Pruitt. I believe Jeremy Pruitt is going to do a good job here, but don't expect him just to come in here and do it, in his second year. If we go 7-5 and we go to a bowl game, I would be happy. But I know a lot of people would rather see him go 8-4 or something like that. Now that's a mission impossible.
So your sausage is burning
because Jason, look, if Philip Fulmer has a lot of confidence in the guy, if he wouldn't have hired him if he didn't. Think about that.
Why is your sausage burning again? What happened?
You and the fans is putting a lot of heat on Jeremy Pruitt.
What kind of heat?
Why?
What kind of heat, Titans-Bill? What heat you talking about? What
you expect him? You expect him just to win, have a great season, right? Right in his second year, and that's impossible. Come on, Jason. I love you, buddy.
I expect him to go out and win eight games overall, 7 games in the regular season, 8 overall. What? That a problem?
I'll settle for 7 and 5 if we can get it.
Titans Beer, that's what I just said.
Unlike the other fans.
I just said 7 games in the regular season, Titans Bill, 8 with a bowl game.
Yeah, in counting the bowl game. I'm tired of us losing to Missouri. I'm tired of us losing to South Carolina. I'm tired of us losing to Alabama. I'm tired of us losing to Florida. And I'm definitely tired of us losing to our in-state rival, Vanderbilt. And it's like, as a Titan fan, if there's anybody I'm going to put the heat on, it isn't Jeremy Pruitt. It's going to be more Mike Vrabel than Jeremy Pruitt.
Mike Vrabel? What?
Because look at it this way, Jason. They don't have a quarterback. If they can find them a quarterback, they can make the playoffs. But the Titans does not have a quarterback.
We're talking about the Titans, right? Titan Bill, what is going on this morning?
They signed Ryan Tannehill.
What is going on right now? I thought we were talking about Tennessee, Jeremy Pruitt, and Titans Bill sausage burning. What is going on? Who is giving Pruitt heat? Where's this heat coming from, Titans Bill? What are you talking about?
Are you putting the heat on Jeremy Pruitt?
Who's putting the heat on Jeremy Pruitt?
Or is it the fans that's doing it?
Who is doing it? Titans Bill, you accuse people
Several
of
of the fans that's calling your show.
Who has put heat on Pruitt? No one is putting heat on Pruitt today. Besides saying we gotta win some games to get better recruits.
I know he's got to win some games, but look, he has a gigantic mess that he's trying to clean up. He's trying to clean up the mess that Butch Jones made.
Yeah, so no one has said he has to win or he's fired. Like, no one has said that today, Titans Bill. That would be putting heat on him.
Volstorm did question his recruiting tactics.
And here's another way. I disagree with that caller on, Kentucky they're starting to rise, their football program. Kentucky will always be a basketball school, even though Josh Allen went in the first round. When you think of Kentucky, it isn't much the NFL, Jason. It's the NBA.
Titans Bill, they can still be a basketball school and still rise and be pretty good in football, though.
And we will always be a football school.
Yeah, and we still be good at basketball too, and still be a football school.
Yeah,
you don't have to be mutually exclusive here.
Our basketball program is really starting to rise up now. It's going guns. So okay, Jason.
Are you catfishing me? Are you
catfishing you?
Are you catfishing me this morning?
On Jeremy Pruitt, I am very sorry, my friend. But it's these fans that burns my sausage this morning, listening to them. They're too demanding.
Titans Bill, we ain't won anything in 10 years. The fans are not demanding. The fans have been patient. This ain't about the fans, Titans Bill. Don't blame the fans. They've been patient. Titans Bill. The fans deserve more. They do. I have not seen any fans crush Jeremy Pruitt, threaten his job. But I have seen fans say, hey, and this is a legitimate question, hey, National Recruiter of the Year, why we will have better players committed? That's a legitimate question. You can't ask a question today without being labeled as being a bad fan or being too demanding. I mean, you can ask a question. Like, I have a question. Why What happened with Justin Rogers? What happened with Tate Rowledge? I can't ask that question. Absolutely, I can ask that question. We understand the hurdles that Jeremy Pruitt has in front of him. Tennessee, period, has hurdles, whether or not Pruitt's a coach or not, just because of the in-state talent versus Florida and Georgia and some other places. I think Titans Bill is delusional this morning. What is going on, Titans Bill?
I think maybe he got you mixed up with Basilio, because I believe Basilio has gotten on to Pruitt this week for some things. So maybe
Really?
I think so. I saw that. I saw somebody comment. I do not know that for fact. Maybe somebody can confirm that, but maybe he
Titans
accidentally
Bill-
has you mixed up.
Titans Bill did say he only listens to me and Basilio.
Yeah, so
maybe he did. 'Cause
if Basilio's been on Pruitt's butt the last 2 weeks, then
I mean, the last thing I want to do is make Titans Bill sausage burn. I do not want to be responsible for that.
Can we get the triple O?
Triple O, you do not want to see Titans Bill and his sausage when it's burning. That's a bad sight.
I hope Triple O never wants to see Titansville sausage.
I hope not either. Good morning, Titans. I almost cussed. Good morning, Triple O. Good morning.
That'll be a four-letter bad word with a "no" at the end of it. No, I don't want to see a sausage. I don't care if it's burning, raw, not burning, not. I never, not none or nothing.
Sorry.
I don't want to see it.
Sorry, man. Titans Bill got me triggered. He
Well, but don't take it out on me. I mean, just because he's a former Lions fan, I mean, he's tripping. I don't know.
No, he's always a Lions fan, man. Once a Lion, always a Lion, man.
Hold on, where does this come from?
LFL, man.
Nuh-uh.
No,
Don't put that donkey on me.
You can't kick him out the Lions Club, man. You got to keep him in.
Loser
Hey, if he said he's a Titans fan, I can kick his ass out anytime I feel like. And I'm sorry for saying ass, but yeah, his ass is gone. Gone.
You can say that. I don't care. I can't believe Titans Bill.
People got me triggered. I'll tell you what got me triggered.
What's that?
These people tripping. It is May 9th. How many recruits did we have last year at this time?
Let me look.
5.
I don't know the number, but we didn't have any big time commits off the top
Other
of
than
my head.
Wanye Morris, right?
Correct.
Yeah, Wanye committed.
And Jackson Lamprey was the only two. Was 2 out of 5 or 6 that we had.
Correct.
It's May 9th, 2019. We have 7 months until early signing period. We got 9 until February. Calm the flip down, you dumb swamp donkey. Calm down. You're killing me. You're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me, people. Let me tell you this much why you're killing me, right? Well, we don't want to play Alabama. I played Alabama every year since I've been alive. I ain't losing Alabama. That's tradition. You in the South, man. Suck it up, Buttercup. You in the South. We play football. If you don't want to play somebody hard, go to the Big Ten.
Huh.
Go somewhere else. Go to the Pac-12. You don't want to play somebody soft? Go to Mountain West. Go somewhere else, man. Go take your ball and run. This is the SEC. This is where there's fried chicken, there's all kind of liquor, and there's football.
It's
You
Division
don't like
One
that?
football.
Get out.
I don't know what's happening right now.
Man, people tripping, man. They get on my nerves today. Talking about, I don't want to play Alabama. Man, we can't even beat Vanderbilt consistently right now. I want my state back. Let's work on that first. Let's beat South Carolina. Let's beat a bunch of river crickets on a consistent basis. Then you can worry about Alabama when you beat Georgia and Florida. And please beat Florida, because Lord knows I can only stand to see so many George so many times.
No, you're right. You're right, Jamie. I mean, we got to do that first before we start worrying about Bama. I mean, Bama has not stopped us from winning a championship. So
We've stopped ourselves, man. You know what? We stopped ourselves. You know why? How we stopped ourselves? Because first of all, we had to settle for Butch Jones.
Yeah.
This all started when you could have had Patterson over Kiffin. You mean you prematurely fired your coach, my coach, who I love former. And it's sad that he has to clean up a mess that started when his firing. 11 years ago.
11 years, man, haven't recovered.
Yeah, and still ain't recovered because you know why? Because every decision you made after that was a bad decision that got worse.
I don't know what's
You
going
had to
on
hit.
right now.
You know what? We had to hit rock bottom. We hit rock bottom. Guess what? It happens. Life is hard. SEC football, when you don't have a right foundation, is hard. We're now starting to get back on the right foundation. This year, I expect 8 wins. Minimum, I expect 8.
Well, I mean, is that Titan Bill seems to think that's bad to expect 8 wins? I mean, is that a bad thing? Is that getting on?
No. That's being a realistic football fan. If you look at the talent, you say, okay, well, we got probably, a top third, receiving core in the SEC. Top third. I'm not going to say that we're like, top 3, but we're around 4 or 5 or even 6, depends on who you look at. I mean, we got a decent stable of running backs. We got a good returning quarterback. I mean, our only question is the line, and the question has been the same question since Tiny and them was here. Who's going to block and who's going to consistently be there and open up holes in the run game? That's our biggest question. It's the offensive and defensive lines. I ain't worried. I know we got DBs.
Let me stop you, Triple O. Golly, Titans Bills on my mind. Did you call South Carolina River Crickets?
I sure did because I got family members down there. I call them South Carolina River Cricket.
What's a river cricket?
A cricket on the river.
No, I want Triple O to tell me. He said
cricket on the river. I just joke with them all the time.
Why do you call them that though?
Yeah.
Because I call North Carolina I call them the mud crickets. Just because they're the Tar Heels.
Mm-hmm.
Mud crickets.
Every time I go to North Carolina, it always rains, so that's why it's like y'all the mud crickets and y'all down there the river crickets because you're below them. That's because it's North Carolina, South Carolina. It's just my family joke. With my family members.
Who's a swamp donkey?
A swamp donkey is a person who is or acts so stupid there's no other name in the English dictionary I can use to call you.
That's not true. You can say one word and it replaces swamp donkey. You know what that word is?
What is that?
Or I guess it's more of a phrase. Volstorm.
I knew you was going there. So
I'm not going to diss my Mississippi brother. I'm not going to diss my Mississippi brother.
So I got river cricket, mud cricket, and swamp donkey.
And then you also got wet Fruit Loop. And that's Titan Bill who disowned his Lions fan to become a Titans fan.
Speaking of the Lions, are the Lions going to take Tua Tagovailoa with the number 1 overall pick next year?
No, because we ain't going to have the number 1 overall pick. Because I'm going to tell you who's going to have that. That's going to be Green Bay.
Ooh. Green Bay? Over the Dolphins?
Yeah, Green Bay. I hate Green Bay, so I'll say Green Bay. Well, okay, Dolphins 1, Green Bay 2.
Do you know what Titan Bill was talking about before your call when you were waiting on home?
Yeah,
what was he mad about?
I don't know. Put it like this. I think that he was on Silence of the Lambs, and he was the one who got to put the lotion in the basket. That's just my personal opinion.
I'm getting you off this phone, Triple O. I'm getting you out of here. I'm getting you out of here, man. You out of here, man.
We need to take a break.
What was Titans Bill mad about?
He just called me back. He wanted to apologize to you.
What did I do? I'm trying to figure it out.
He said it was more Basilio that is burnt. Basilio has burnt Titansville sausage, and he called in to you, and I guess emotions got the best of him. Took it out on you.
Yeah, I don't know what I said. So Basilio must have been ripping on Pruitt this week.
I guess so.
Golly, man.
I believe Basilio got after Fulmer and Pruitt about the Smokey thing, the caravan going away.
Yeah, Basilio cares about that way more than me. I don't care. I just laughed the whole time. Sorry, man.
Am I the only one that finds those Smokey statues on campus a little bit creepy?
I haven't been on campus in a while.
Yeah, but they post pictures about them all the time, and they're like really big in person. They kind of creep me out, if I'm being honest.
I haven't seen them.
No offense to the real Smokey. Real Smokey is cute.
Yeah, I haven't seen them, man. So, yeah, Tony and I, we're not the same. We're different. Swain event. Be right back.
Hour 3 of the Swain event is brought to you by the Low T Center and lowtcenter.com.
Thursday through Saturday, the Hillbilly Chili is where it's at. Don't forget the half-off wings on Tuesdays from 4 to 8 p.m. and the salmon plate on Friday. The people spoke and Dead End listened, adding Dead End Society favorites like the Bernie Mac, Randall's Kitchen Sink Burrito, and the barbecue cheddar meatloaf to the menu full time. Whether it's a game day or any day, at Dead End Barbecue, the mouth-watering barbecue search is over.
When you see the happy face on our truck, you'll be smiling because you'll know that you're in love.
It's freezing in here, Mary. What's wrong with your heater? The repairman can't get here till next week. Sugar, you've got the wrong guy. My guy is fast and has free heating service calls when he does the repair.
Hi, I'm Jimmy Hiller. Take advantage of a free service call with any repair.
Call the Happy Face Truck today.
JC's Tree and Landscaping Service specializes in quality tree work done at an affordable price. Trimming and removing trees are their specialty. They also offer other services like land clearing, stump grinding, crane services, and all of your basic landscaping needs for both commercial and residential. JC's will give you a free estimate and beat any written quote by a competitor to guarantee that you get the lowest price around. Don't risk your land with a fly-by-night service. JC's Tree and Landscaping is licensed and insured. Give them a call at 865-599-3799.
Goes your car insurance.
Nobody likes surprises, so switch to Erie Rate Lock. Get a great rate that stays that way even after an accident, ticket, or inflation. In fact, it's locked until you change a car, driver, or your address.
Your Erie agent in Knoxville is InsureFit RM. Get a quote at 865-684-4900. That's 865-684-4900.
Erie Rate Lock does not guarantee continued insurance coverage and is not available in all states.
You're driving home, flashing blue lights in your rearview mirror. You pull over, step out of your car, and the next thing you know, you're being arrested for driving under the influence. Now what do? We all should be responsible. But remember, just because you're arrested doesn't mean you're guilty. Call criminal defense and DUI attorney Marcos Garza at 865-540-8300. The investigative teams at the Garza Law Firm know the justice system inside and out. They utilize cutting-edge technologies and investigative methods to prepare your specific case. Before you plead guilty to any criminal charges, call criminal defense and DUI attorney Marcos Garza. Put his number in your phone right now, 865-540-8300, because you never know when you or a friend will need it. Don't say guilty. Say Garza. 865-540-8300. 865-540-8300 and GarzaLaw.com.
We have all made the mistake of dropping or breaking our smartphones. See? But did you know that you can have it repaired for a fraction of the cost it takes to replace it? Well, you can, because iDrop is the area's leading mobile repair store, home of the 1 hour or less phone repair, 1 year parts warranty, and #1 customer service. Broken screens, cracked cameras, charging ports, batteries, you break it, we'll fix it. If you didn't break your phone, protect it with one of our leading accessories such as LifeProof, OtterBox, UAG, Incipico, Caseology, and Spec. Visit our West Hills location at 7115 Kingston Pike between Office Depot and Hardee's, or call 865-888-9740 and speak with our trained technicians to see how we can get your phone working today.
At work? Can't call in? Don't feel bad. You can talk to the guys on the text box. It's part of the free Swain Event app.
So Ben has to share his phone call with Titans Bill. So Titans Bill called back. I don't answer the phones unless Ben and Brad decide to be worthless bums. I have to do the show by myself and answer the phone call, which I had to do for about 15 minutes last week.
How many years have you been doing the show?
I want to say this year be 9.
So 9 years of sports radio, and you've answered phones for 15 minutes.
That's my first time doing it. It's actually pretty cool.
How did it feel? I haven't talked to you about that. Did it feel weird? Everything goes smoothly?
I'm uncomfortable being. It was cool. I couldn't screen the call because
that's kind of cool though.
It worked out. It was a great call.
Well, Brandon, if we're being honest, I don't really screen the call either. I just find out who it is, and very rarely do they say what they want to talk about.
Well, I mean, the calls that we have, we pretty much know they're cool, so we're good for the most part. So share with us what Titans Bill said when he called in. When he called back.
Titans Bill called back and said, "Tell Jason." Oh, I'm not going to try to imitate him. Tell Jason that I am sorry that it had more to do with Basilio. Basilio was stirring him up. And then I said, as I was saying, "It's all right, Titans Bill. I hope you have a great day," I could hear him whisper to himself, "Basilio."
So you better watch out, Basilio. So Titans Bill was whispering to himself, Basilio. What? What is going on? Is that Titans Bill again? So Titans Bill's called back for the third time? Titans Bill, man. I don't know Basilio. I don't talk to Basilio. We not friends anymore. Because I don't want to run a friendship with you, Titans Bill.
Well, I just owe you an apology, buddy. He's the one that's creating this problem.
What happened, Titans Bill? What did he say?
And I am going to rip him on your show. He's too demanding.
What did he say, Titans Bill?
He said, Pruitt must win now.
Well, he needs to win now. That will help us all out. It's been a while.
I want to see him win now too.
Well, what does win now mean? Does it say win every game?
Or
or
impossible. Come on.
What does win now mean, Titans Bill? Does it say win every game or win most of the games that you're playing?
I'll settle for 7-5 if we can get it, and 8-5 if we beat whoever we play in a bowl game. It's like what you said.
I think Tony would like that. I think Tony would be cool with that.
Look, right now,
when I used to talk to Tony,
great job. Pruitt is doing a great job. Oh, it all has to do with this stupid caravan.
You knew Tony was gonna get up on that caravan stuff. You knew that.
Pruitt. Hey, Jason. Pruitt is not turned on to fluff like Jones was.
Yeah, the caravan was something that was done for a very long time, and it's important to a lot of people. I get it, but I also understand the type of money we've thrown around at people, and there's been some changes with some other events including VFLs that we did last year that we didn't do this year, and so. I understand that. I never went to a Big Orange Caravan, so for me, it doesn't hit home for me like it does for other people, but I respect other people who are not happy about it. We just need to win, Titans Bill. That is the remedy. We need to win.
Well, I know he needs to win.
I'm on your side, Titans Bill.
If we go 7-5, I know I'm tired of us losing to Vanderbilt, but that ain't going to happen. That's not going to happen forever. It's sort of like,
it don't need to happen anymore.
Michigan has always dominated Michigan State, but it seems like the tide has turned. Michigan State is now dominating Michigan. But you do not want to lose to your in-state rival whose football program is nothing but a pile of crap. I'm referring to Vanderbilt.
Well, Titans Bill, I'm going to let Tony know that he better watch his back because you are not happy with him one bit. And if I had to pick one person to take a side of, I would pick your side, Titans Bill. I can't believe Tony would do such a thing of riling you up. I'm tweeting Tony right now. Let him know. Titans Bill, you're on Titans Bill back pocket list. Tony. You better watch it because Titans Bills coming hot today on your show here in about an hour and 5 minutes. I hope you're ready, Basilio. I hope you're ready. Who we got next?
Nobody.
Nobody? So, Ben, what do you think about today's show?
Well, we went 45 straight minutes without a commercial.
Okay.
And during that time, we had several great phone calls. And let me sum it up like this. The new season of Fortnite came out today. And in the game, there's now an area you can run to, and it teleports you to a different part of the map. I wish I could use that teleportation device to teleport myself back to basketball season when things were much more enjoyable.
So I just told Tony that he is on Titans Bills back pocket list.
Did you tweet at him or did you text him?
I tweeted at him.
Well, he won't respond.
He'll respond. He'll respond. That's something you tweet. You don't text him. I ain't gonna text Tony that.
I just Twitter searched Titans Bill. I wish Titans Bill was on Twitter.
I wish he was too, man.
I was concerned about Titans Bill there for a second.
Titans Bill.
Do not let Tony pick on you, Titans Bill. Stand up to him.
I thought Titans Bill wanted to fight me, man.
Really, you should blame Tony for that.
Yeah, we don't get in confrontations with our listeners over here, so that would not have happened at all. But I thought Titans Bill really wanted to throw some hands with me, man. I was a little nervous. I was like, man, I don't want to be like Debo. You want some of this? You want some of this too, old man? No. I don't want to get into it with Titans Bill. Tony, you better watch out, man.
So I just clicked on Tony's Twitter account just to see what he's tweeted lately. And there's a Periscope, his Periscope show from yesterday, I believe it was. And in the video, he starts the stream and a Lions helmet is blocking the view.
Oh, man.
And he chunks it across the room. The Lions helmet.
Ken says Titan Bill owes more than Jason an apology. Hell, I gotta listen to that idiot too. Sorry, folks. Sorry. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. Vol for Life 81 says Tony got upset that Pruitt turned down some 7-on-7 camp at the facility, which has been a thing for a while. Apparently, UT said they're going to make it up during, from the fallout. So I'll dig and find out what the heck is going on there and why Titans Bill was so mad and 7-on-7 stuff. What happened there? For Ben McKee, I'm Jason Swain. Have a great day. Peace and love. We're out.
3 of the Swain event is brought to you by the Low T Center and lowtcenter.com.